Hey guys, we're live. Pop in and say hi. Don't be shy. You know I'm not shy. I like to talk. Dang, hang on. Drop that. Drop that. Let's get some things organized here. And hopefully we got our buddy from Nova Scotia that'll join in today. The guy that says he grows palm trees outside year-round without protection, and he claims that they're long-term there. Well, I beg to differ. He tells me he's a horticulturalist, and I really don't give a rat's ass if he's a horticulturalist or not. It's about cold hardiness, not about It's not about a palm tree being able to. It's about palm trees being able to survive in a climate where I don't think they can survive. Okay, so I know for a fact, because I've been growing Trachycarpus palms for a very long time. In Canada, they are rated Zone 8A, 8B. Actually, nurseries rate them down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I know they can take colder temperatures, especially ones that are climatized and locally grown ones. This guy claims there's a lot of palm trees growing in Nova Scotia. I think the guy's completely full of shit. Okay, and I say it like it is. And in real life, I really do say it like it is. I'm actually a really nice guy. I try to be a nice guy on these live streams, but in real life, if I think you're full of shit, I will tell you are full of shit. And that guy's full of shit. Hey, how's it going, man? Sandor. So he sends me a picture of this guy that's been commenting on my videos. He sends me a picture of a palm tree with a dusting of snow on it. Maybe it's about 5 feet tall to the top of the fronds. That don't prove anything to me. I don't care if a shit if the guy's got 5 horticultural degrees. He's full of shit. Okay. And excuse my French for people that don't like swearing, but I don't actually have a filter in real life. I have a filter on YouTube, but today I'm not having a filter because people like that piss me off. He's trying to prove me wrong. If I was wrong, I would apologize to him, but I'm not wrong. I know I'm right. I got a lot of friends that live in Nova Scotia, good friends, and there ain't no long-term palm trees in Nova Scotia without winter protection. I saw the ones growing in Halifax, and they look like effing toothpicks with a couple of ugly fronds on top, okay? So the one that he showed me was just recently planted. I'm not stupid. It doesn't prove anything. I could show you the picture. I should actually copy it later when I'm done the live stream, and I'll send you the picture. And it's not a bad looking palm. He says the palm trees look like shit that I grow. He says they're all yellow. Walk around our garden and you tell me if you see a palm tree that looks like shit. Our Trachycarpus palms look really nice here. If they're by the water, sometimes they do get some salt spray on them, and they can get some browning on the fronds. But they definitely don't need any winter protection here. Bad winter, you're going to lose some Cordylines here, because they're a lot less cold hardy than a Trachycarpus palm. But there is no Zone 8A area anywhere on the mainland of Nova Scotia. I know that for a fact. I think Sable Island might be 7B, 8A. You know, it might be closer to 8A. And I've always thought that. And I've always thought, it'd be kind of cool to try one out there. Hans, hey, how's it going? Hans Bananas. So anyway, I hope that guy comes on here and we can chit chat a little bit. And I wanted to provide some videos so people can see all these palm trees growing in Nova Scotia. I'm not an expert on every palm tree, but I know a lot about Trachycarpus palms. I've grown them tens of thousands of Trachycarpus palms over the last 35 years. A lot of palm trees. Bigfoot, that's all right. I don't care if Bigfoot's here. It doesn't matter. Bigfoots are okay. You know what? As long as nobody's causing any problems in here, and I apologize for my bad language because a few people, well, you guys can't. It's probably not going to bother you guys, but if anybody else is listening, I do apologize for that. But it does kind of upset me a little bit. Some of these guys that come in here and try to spew this bullshit on me, it's bullshit. That's what it is. Plain and simple bullshit. It is experience, and being a gardener for the Parks Department for 19 years, and then working at a nursery before that for 10 years. And that's all I did was sell palm trees and exotic plants to people. I know a lot about them. And then I grew them on the mainland as well. I had a nursery, I had a greenhouse there, and people would come and buy palms from me on the mainland. That was over 3 decades ago, right? So I've been growing a lot of palm trees for a long time, windmill palms. So I think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to cold hardiness. In the United States, if you get into the southern states, it's completely different. A Zone 7B in the southern states is completely different than a Zone 7B in Canada. That's the bottom line. That's the way it is. There are longer term palms, Trachycarpus palms in Zone 7A, 7B in the states, in the southern states, but Even my buddy in Arkansas, that last cold blast they had last year, the one that wiped out a lot of palms in Dallas, Texas, he lost a lot of palm trees in his garden. They froze, and he's in 7B, 8A, and they froze in the Razorback state, and that's a lot more farther south than Nova Scotia. All right, so there you go. Anyway, I don't want to get my blood pressure rising here because of it. Yeah, well, I think there might be a 6B in Nova Scotia too. I'm thinking there might be a 6B in Nova Scotia. You know what? He claims there's a 7 something in Nova Scotia on the mainland. I don't know. It doesn't show that on a zone map, but who knows? But I think Sable Island is definitely 7B, 8A. But there's a lot of wind on Sable Island. There's a ton of wind on Sable Island. And I can tell you one thing, okay? I got a really good friend, and I know a lot of palm growers, okay? I've been in the Palm Society since the 1980s. I know where palm trees grow around the world. I was just actually looking at my journals. I was a member of the International Palm Society for years, Southern California chapter, and also our Pacific Northwest Palm Society. So I got a good friend that lives out in Abbotsford, between Aldergrove and Abbotsford, which is about 35, maybe 40 miles southeast of Vancouver. Back in 1990, 91, we went to my buddy's place in Vancouver. They grew palm trees from seed, and we picked out some palm trees for his garden. 2 palm trees, little locally grown palm trees. Those palms are about 25 feet tall now, but this past, when they have a bad winter there, they still get really beat up. And he's like 8A out there, at least, zone 8A, and they got beat up. So he messaged me not that long ago, just after this winter, and he says they're not looking that good. He was worried about them. And that's a growing zone, a full growing zone or more than Nova Scotia. So if they're getting beat up in a bad winter here, what do you think they're going to look like in Nova Scotia in a zone 6B or 6A? It ain't going to work without winter protection. That's just the way it is. You have a better chance of growing dry in Niagara. Oh, I bet you do. Yeah, I bet you do, man. And you get the heat there too. 7 those go only. Oh my goodness, be winters every other year. Interesting. Okay, fan. Cool. Hi, Joe. Finally managed to catch. Hey, Adventures Allotmentier. The Adventurous Allotmentier. Cool. That's a cool name. Wow. So today I'll tell you what I did. That's good sparkling water. Bubbly blackberry. So I went down to the beach with Wendy and I gathered a bunch of seaweed up. More seaweed, and I turned the whole garden over. But on the way back, I went up to one of the mountains there and I shot a little DX in the vehicle, talked all over the place. It was nice. Even sitting down by the beach, I'm talking to Tennessee and all over the place in my little radio in my truck. It's kind of fun. I like doing that. And then Wendy says, well, why don't you go up to the mountain? So I went up to one of the mountains and I shot a little bit more skip up there too. So anyway, Adventurous Allotmentier, thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. And yes, there are people do go Trachycarpus palms in Niagara on the lake, but they do need protection. And I know Southern Ontario, Windsor and Point Pelee is zone 7 as well. It's either 7A or 7B, something like that. The Great Lakes is very humid. Ontario get easily. Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. So I know without protection, if you get down into, I would say Niagara, or not Niagara, maybe Windsor. Let's go to Point Pelee and Windsor. It's even, I don't know, is Niagara, what's Niagara, 6B or 7A? Maybe they could grow needle palms down there without protection in Sable Minor, right? And they're definitely going to get a lot more heat in Ontario than they do in Nova Scotia. And I think Nova Scotia in a little bit is probably going to get the heat, but anywhere near the water, you're going to get blasted by the wind. And Trachycarpus palms hate wind. And so the combination of cold wind coming off that water with those extreme minimum temperatures in the winter is going to totally freeze dry Trachycarpus palm fronds. I can tell you about a winter many years ago. Hey, how's it going, piece of me? Still debating whether palm trees grow in Nova Scotia, piece of me. We're still debating. They don't work. There are 7B microclimates, Erie Islands, Ohio. And cool, 20 to 35. So our low temperature here in our upper garden was 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's recorded in the upper Stevenson screen, so minus 6.6. But lower screen was 1.4 degrees temperature, 1.4 lower at minus 8. But you know what's interesting? I'm still not seeing any damage on the plants, probably because we don't have any wind, and that was a one night temperature, but still, or that actually was in the early morning that recorded that, but still our freeze lasted a week. It was a bad freeze we had here. So I consider that a pretty bad winter. When we had that freeze that lasted a week and we had a crap load of snow, we had 8.5 inches of snow. I'd say so, piece of me. No Trachycarpus palms without winter protection in Nova Scotia. So here's a link of a palm tree. I think this is it. I wonder if that's the link right there. You can check it out. I think that's the link of the palm tree. I think that's the one I just posted in Nova Scotia. You tell me what that palm tree looks like. It's not too impressive, man. The trunk on it looks like a frickin' pecker pole with a couple of ugly little fronds sticking out on top. It's hardly a healthy looking specimen. Now, the picture the guy sent me of the palm tree growing in Nova Scotia in his garden, it's a nice looking specimen. It's about, I'm going to say it's probably about this tall with the fronds and everything. Beautiful fronds on it. Did have snow on it, but to me, it looks like something that was recently planted. It doesn't look like it's been through many winters. He probably bought it at Costco or Home Depot or something, or maybe brought it from a nursery and he just planted it. So I haven't been following the weather in Nova Scotia. I don't know how cold it's been there this year, but I know they can get cold. And I know a lot of things are really late to leaf out there too and bloom into the spring because they have long, cold winters there, right? So anyway, I'm sure I'm going to hear back from the guy because he did message me back on Facebook in my Banana Joe Light page. And anyway, we got into a heated discussion. I like a good heated discussion once in a while, though. Cloverdale, minus 17 degrees. Nice. So did you guys get the wind, and how big is it? That is pretty cold. So Donna, well-established palms in Cloverdale, and I know of lots of them. I got videos of them here. I planted some in Cloverdale 30 years ago, and they are over 25 to 30 feet tall in my buddy's garden. And the biggest one he used to protect when it was younger. The other ones were kind of on their own because they were locally grown. They are sheltered from his house. They got the sheltering from the house to stop the east winds because I know Cloverdale can get outflow winds. I lived in the southwest corner of Langley. So minus 17 degrees Celsius is pretty freaking cold. I'm surprised that the fronds did not get damaged at minus 17 degrees Celsius because I've had fronds completely fry off at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 12 degrees Celsius, but there was wind. There was wind with it. So if you had no wind and you had them in a sheltered, you must have them in a sheltered spot. Lowest temperature here this winter is morning is one. Oh, that's nothing. That's not even cold, man. That's balmy. Adventurous a lot. That's balmy. So whereabouts in Cloverdale? 8 foot, no wind. So you got a pretty good size one. There are some big palms in Cloverdale, and I know where they're hiding. I've been around. I have videos of them on my YouTube channel right here. The biggest ones in Cloverdale are actually in my friend's garden, and the next ones are just on a side street off of 184th. The guy's got 3 of them growing through the eaves of his, the overhangs of his house. Hey, David Button, good to see you in there, man. That is awesome. Gotta love David down under. My theory about the Trachycarpus is just regular mutation. What do you? Wow, I never heard of it. I've never heard of that one. That sounds interesting. I can't even pronounce that Trachycarpus name. How's everything going, Joe? Are you still? No. Well, yes and no. So they kind of mixed up our marriage certificate. Wendy had to send it back to Honolulu to go to apostolize. And we thought the marriage place in Honolulu would send it back to us. So we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So she phoned last week and they said, oh, they mailed it to the consulate, the Costa Rican consulate. So Wendy phoned the Costa Rican consulate and left a message, and they said they're looking for it. So hopefully they haven't lost our marriage certificate. That's the last piece of paper we need. But we can't leave anyway because we don't have the special medicine in it, to make a long story short. So we cannot leave. We cannot go anywhere right now. We just have to put up with Salt Spring Island. Donna, there is some brown fronds behind. 186. Okay, 186th Street. So do you know about my buddy's palm trees on Shannon Hill Estate there? Shannon Hill Estates there, Donna? We planted those ones, like I say, 30 years ago, and they are towering palm trees. If you get a chance, drive by there. He's in Shannon Hill Estates, and he's right off 184th. So crossover number 10 heading south, hang a right in Shannon Hill Estates. My other buddy's on the left-hand side, Brian. Member, okay, so you're a member of the society, okay. And so Phil is a member of the society, and so is Brian. Brian's got that massive date palm in his garden, and he's also got some brahias. He's got a huge Trachycarpus. What is that? What he has in his garden? Latisectus too, 20-footer. Okay, well, I've met you then, Donna. I've met you at the garden tour then, I'm sure. -1 point is nothing. Trachycarpus nanoteel. Oh yeah, -1.6 is a cakewalk. The adventurous lot mentier cakewalk. Banned for no reason. Again, you got banned. Why'd you get banned, Alex? Garden tour. Anyway, good to hear you in there, Alex. And it's interesting, Donna, that the guy's got some brown fronds on his palms in Cloverdale that are growing through the eaves of his house, because you figure those would be pretty sheltered, or maybe they're just so tall now the wind gets them or something. I don't know. Hey, Sandor. Hey, Brennan. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so you know Brian. And then I got my friend Adam out there on 216th and 48th, 248th and 16th Avenue in Langley. And Adam grows a lot of palm trees too. I'd be very curious to see how his palm trees are doing, right? So you had -17 degrees Celsius in Cloverdale. And you know what? The coldest I've ever heard of Trachycarpus surviving is -24 degrees Celsius. That's pretty cold. But that was like a one-night thing. How's the weather where you are? Frankie Meyer in. I remember years ago there was some growing in an alcove, like in a courtyard in where the hell was it? It was in Colorado. Oh, I forget the name of the town. It'll come to me. You got the palms from Adam. Okay, cool. Adam's a good guy. I used to know Adam when I lived in Langley. He used to come out to my place in Langley, and I used to go out to his place in Tawasin. Him and Keith Baker had a nursery on Ladner Trunk Road many moons ago. 18 inches of snow. We had 8.5 inches of snow, but you know what, Sander? We've got you guys beat, because in December 2008, we had 20 inches. And then in 1996, December 1996, we had 28.5 inches. Yeah, we had 28.5 inches of snow. Newport News. Yeah, we know there's lots of palms in Newport. Yeah, Wendy lived in Tawasin for a few years because her parents lived there, but then she moved out. She grew up in North Delta. She went to North Delta Senior Secondary, graduated from there, and then she actually lived in White Rock for 23 years. Before moving to Salt Springs, she lived in White Rock. She also lived in Kerrisdale too. Mostly melted though. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad your snow's melted, Palm Planet. I can live without the snow. Yeah, Wendy lived in Tawasin back in the 1970s. You're from Tawasin? Cool. I forget what road she lived on. Let me ask her. Hey, Wendy. Hey. Wendy, what road did you live on in Tawasin? Hey, what road did you live on in Tawasin? 56? No, 51A. Oh, hey, Donna. She lived on 51A Street in Tawasin. 51A Street. Actually, Wendy and I were in Tawasin beginning of December. We went down to Boundary Bay, and then I went and shot some videos of palm trees and stuff there. Yeah, we had a bad cold snap here too. I like Tawasin. If I lived on the mainland, it'd be White Rock or Tawasin or Crescent Beach. Crescent Beach and Ocean Park is nice too. 4 palms here, 10 foot tall. Chappers and cheddars, 3. Wow, cool. 4 palms, 10 feet tall. Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, did you see the video? Okay, yeah. I like Tawasin. I like all the palm trees there. It is currently 8.7 degrees Celsius here, and the time is 5:04 p.m. Pacific time. Sorry, guys, I'm eating chips. Some colder, going towards the northeast U.S. 10 Fahrenheit. I've never seen 10 degrees Fahrenheit here since I've lived here. -8 is the coldest I've seen. -8 degrees Celsius. That's as cold as I've seen it here. Good to see you on your Palm Planet. And you know what? Every day is getting closer to spring. That's a good thing. That makes me happy. By the way, I did I looked at our other mule palm. We have two mule palms in the ground, right? And I shot a video of it today, so I'll probably upload it before I go to bed. But so one, I put a plastic bag over top. That's the Cyagrus butea. The other one might be a Cyagrus butea or a Butea jubea. It has zero damage on it. There's no protection whatsoever. It's kind of covered with bamboo, and there's trackies around it, and one of those prickly orange trees. But anyway, it looks totally fine. How long did your trachea seedlings? How long did it take your trachea seedlings to get to 5-gallon pots? I think those ones are about 4. I'm thinking they're probably 4 years, 4.5 years, maybe something like that. And we're growing those on. We have hundreds of them, so we're growing those on. It's kind of like I'm retired now, so that's kind of the retirement plan, is to sell more palms. And I'm really busy selling palms in the spring and summer. I even sell them to the grocery stores here, and people come by and buy them, right? But we're going to grow those on for a few years. Since we can't leave anywhere, we're kind of stuck here in Canada, so we will be here for a while. So I will be selling palms from here. VB is 55-minute dry, 3. So yeah, and you know, it just depends on the soil and everything, Donna. The watering, that makes a difference. If you can water them more in the summer months, good soil, and then they should grow very well. And the soil mixture I use is, we buy a load of topsoil, and there's a lot of compost in the topsoil and kitchen waste compost, and then I mix it with decomposed eucalyptus wood chips and Douglas fir wood chips, and then that's what Wendy and I were really busy transplanting all of these really root-bound 1-gallon potted palms into the 5 gallons. I think they're around 80. I think Wendy prices them. I think they're $80 for a 5-gallon, locally grown. Everything here is locally grown. Locally grown palms are the best. And I can tell you one thing, those palms, and I was worried about them, Donna, because all the other palms, the smaller ones, I mulch the pots with leaves so the pots don't freeze. But I didn't mulch the 5-gallon ones. They look absolutely flawless. And you know what? Something else was the cold frames. I was going to mention the cold frames. We have thousands of palm trees in 2.5-inch liner pots, little palms that need to go into 1 gallons. They're fine. They made it in these non-heated cold frames. Now, every year they're non-heated, but a really bad deep freeze like this, I should have thrown some dry leaves on top. Donna is from Cloverdale. She lives in Cloverdale by my buddy Phil, not too far from Phil. So Cloverdale is about 25 miles or so southeast of Vancouver. And there's quite a few palm trees in Cloverdale, right? So that's where I was in early December. I was in Cloverdale, stayed at the Best Western in Langley, and then I shot a bunch of videos at my buddy's place in Cloverdale. Do you fertilize your seedlings? If so, yeah, I use I got a big bag of palm food from Phil from the Palm Society. It was a special palm food slow release, but I ran out of it. So you know what I use? I use a 1818 or a 3318 or 3312 or something like that. Grass food. I've been just using grass fertilizer for it, and it works just fine. Slow release grass food. That's it. And I fertilize them in the spring, or late winter. So mid-March, I'll fertilize everything in the nursery with the slow release. Pretty much everything in the garden gets compost thrown on it, stuff like that. I don't really fuss over those too much, but potted palms, I want them a little bit more nutrition. Anyway, yeah, so Sandor, so she's just southeast of Vancouver in a town called Cloverdale. And Island's doing really well. It's great here. And man, the frogs are sure making a lot of noise every day. So many frogs out there. Today I was watching some hummingbirds. When I was down on the beach, I was like, you can hear them singing. The hummingbirds sing. They have this fine little chirp. And I was just ready to shoot a video one, and he saw me pull the camera and he buggered off. Oh, you have bags of fertilizer. Okay, you're lucky. Yeah, I don't. I used it all up. I used up all the fertilizer. Remember when you all... Oh, really? Cool. Interesting. Well, that's good. Cordyline John. You know what? There's lots of Cordylines in Ireland. I was in a garden today while I was on the beach, I just posted pictures on people who love palm trees. Big cordylines. And I was walking to the beach with Wendy. I looked over and I could see these big cordylines beside the 2-story house. And they're right beside the ocean, but they look beautiful, flawless, really nice cordylines. So the biggest ones here are growing right beside the ocean. Anything in a bit, if it got too cold, they're going to be flopped. They're going to be frozen. It just never gets cold enough by the ocean to kill those cordylines. So, Donna, do you still go to Palm Society meetings? I'm curious. I used to go to them a lot, every 3 months when I lived in Langley. I'd pick up our old buddy in White Rock, Walter Shostowski, and we'd drive him out there. I cleaned out probably 1,500 pounds of cordylines. 1,500 pounds of cordyline. Wow. Did you really? Like what? Cleaned out probably. Like what, do you cut them down? Yeah, mature cordylines look awesome. They really are beautiful plants. You know what? And even when they get a skirt on them. So at my buddy's place on the beach, they're like 15 feet tall or so. They're big ones. And they got full skirts on them. They're totally skirted. They look like a Washingtonia cordyline. Pretty cool. So you cleaned out 1,500 pounds of cordylines. So is that like the leaves you cleaned out, piece of me, or did you cut some, or did you actually remove some? You removed some cordylines. Yeah, Donna, that's good fertilizer. If you got it, use it. Oh, you saw some. Okay, cool. We were down there again today. I was getting seaweed from that beach. Oh, you're doing it Zoom. Okay. I just got the latest calendar not that long ago. The latest Palm Society calendar. And it's a good one. Lots of good stuff in it. And it's funny, I was just looking through some of my old journals. I have every single journal that the Palm Society's ever put out, right? Like from the 80s up. And they put out a lot of them, but I don't think they do journals anymore, do they? Adventurers, we tend to take cordylines for granted here. They shouldn't, as they're awesome. Red cordylines are in the thing. Oh, red star cordylines are awesome. And they are all over the place in the UK. UK is a great climate for growing old dead leaves, some old damaged parts. Oh, cool. Nice. So they really stand out now. And I think all the cordylines in Seattle did good. No more journals, eh? So is Nick, who's the president? Is Nick Parker still the president? Years ago, it was Rudy. I was president. I was president in 1990, 91, long time ago. And then Rudy was president for a long time. Aloha. The red ones are usually less hardy here. Yeah, our red one looks okay. So far, so good. Yes, they are red. The red ones are less cold tolerant, Sandor. We have another one called Vanilla Fudge. So far, so good. We have big ones too in our garden. I'm waiting to spring though to see, make sure nothing flops. We had a few smaller ones flop on us, so I'm waiting. Sometimes they flop a few weeks later, right? They fool you. You think, they made it through that cold blast, and then they just flop over on you and they're dead. And that kind of sucks about cordylines. But you know what? Good thing about cordylines, they're perennial, and they will come back. And even if the trunk freezes partly down, they can actually sprout out of the trunk too. If you cut a cordyline in half, it will sprout out of the trunk. But red star are less cold hardy. Indivisia are less cold hardy too. There are so many varieties of cordylines. Yes, there is. We have one called Vanilla. I think it's called Vanilla Fudge. Wendy bought it a couple of years ago. So it's brown with green margins. It's actually really beautiful. Then there's another one called Torbay Dazzler. The adventurous, a lot. The red ones, top growth hardy to about -5 or good -10. Okay, the roots are good to -10. Okay, that's good to know. Right on. Anthony, mythical bee. Oh, do you like the? Hey, Anthony, what do you think of that? What do you think of that unicorn? I sent that to my sister over on the Big Island, or my sister, my daughter. She says maybe they've met on a dating site. You should learn 12 common Hawaiian sentences. I got a book here. I hope I still have it. I don't know if I still have it. This one right here. There it is right there. See that? That's called The Guide to the Hawaiian Language right there. Things Hawaiian right there. So yes, I do know some Hawaiian words. John Brincombe. Oh, so John's president. Okay, right on. Kind of like John. He's been in the Palm Society a long time. Any more you? No. You know what's funny, Sandor? That bloody thing. You should learn to. Anyway, the mythical beans on Salt Spring Island. Nothing surprises me much here, but I was down on the beach collecting seaweed. I came up and there's this, I look over and it's like, and my camera was in my truck. So I had to scramble to my truck to go grab my camera. So I got to make a video. And then of course my camera chip ran out. So I only got about 25 or 26 seconds of unicorn video. And when I came home from the collecting the seaweed, I said to Wendy, I said, you know what? You'll never guess what I saw. I saw a unicorn, and her daughter was here too. And they says, yeah, sure you did. Sure you did. So anyway, I posted a couple pictures on Facebook, and I do have the video. The proof is in the pudding. I did see a unicorn walking with a human. And when my daughter said that, I thought it was kind of funny. She says, maybe they met on a dating site. Maybe they're just friends, and maybe he was just out for a walk with the unicorn. I have Torbay Dazzler against the dark wall. Well, you know what? That's beautiful, the Torbay Dazzler. There was a nice one growing at Grace Point, but somebody vandalized it, snapped it off. So I got the top of it in the greenhouse, and hopefully it's going to grow for me. Why are plant names in Latin speaking of? Yeah, I don't know. They are, and a lot of them I do speak the Latin names of plant names when I talk. Camarops are great. I love camarops, palms. Dating site, a unicorn dating site, and the unicorn was big too. Being dead, cool. Thank you, Adventurous a lot, Meter. Camarops have always been one of my favorite palms. I planted the first ones back in the 1980s. And we had a bad winter, early February 1989. And it froze them to the ground. But I did have one behind my house. And what I did, I put a box. I had it in sandy raised soil. This is when I lived in 8A, 8B. Beautiful one. It was actually featured in Hardy Palm International. And it was a pretty nice size one. So I put this cardboard box around it. It was up on a south wall. And I put a piece of Lexan over top of it. No artificial heat. It survived minus 14. It was minus 14.8 degrees or minus 14.5 degrees Celsius. Kept dry. And it made it. The ones out in the open in the front yard actually froze to the ground. And the one in the back of the house sheltered, it actually made it. Superficial frost burn to the tips of the fronds, though. I hate vandals too, man. It sucks. I speak English, Punjabi. I just speak English. That's it. Just English. Nothing else. But I eat all different languages of foods, right? I mean, all different country foods, not languages. All different country foods. I love curry. I like East Indian food, Italian food, Chinese food. And sometimes we like to watch cooking shows on YouTube. There's some really good cooking shows. We were watching this one lady last night do. She was preparing moose meat steak and prawns and potatoes. And, oh, man, I was starving, man, when I saw that. It's like, oh, God. Man, could I relate. Yeah, so it's this new one. It's called Cook It, Eat It. That's the name of her channel, Cook It, Eat It. Actually, Sandor, you'd like her husband's channel, How to Hunt. Steve, he talks about Bigfoot a lot. That's why we watch him. So let me put that there. Oh, Hawaii this and that. There's another one I got. Hawaii this and that. A lot of Hawaii stuff. And you see how they spell Hawaii? See, when I spell Hawaii, I spell it like that. And a lot of people ask me, why do you put that apostrophe in there? That's how you spell Hawaii, like that. Hawaii. Just like that. So put that there. Yeah, you'd like it, Sandor. It's called How to Hunt. I saw it. Cook It, Eat It. Yeah, they're great. So we watch her husband, Steve, because he talks about Bigfoot, and we like Bigfoot stuff. What is the one palm that is the tribe of all the others? Well, I have one in the ground right now, and it's a Parajubea torellii, and I did wrap the bottom of it with burlap. So Hawaii, yes, it is. You're right, fan of Banana J. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. So I finally saw the episode of... Oh, did you see it? Did you actually? It's funny. Somebody messaged me the other day. I don't even know the person. And they're from Ontario. And they said they watch our YouTube videos and they saw it on the History Channel. They saw the History Channel thing. I've never seen it. We don't get History Channel, so I'll never see it. But we did see something that day. We don't know what we saw. And like I say, maybe it was a bear. I'm guessing maybe it was just a bear. It'd be super cool if it was a Bigfoot, but I think they ruled it out. Didn't they say it was a bear? Yes, History Channel. Did they rule it out to be a bear? And they got my last name wrong too. One of the girls here that works in town says, "Hey Joe, I saw that on the History Channel, and they called me Joe Taylor, I think." And they got my last name wrong on there. That's Wendy's last name, not mine. Do you have a regular day and time? No, just random. So you can, I think you can get it on your thing. Then it'll pop up when I'm going to do a live stream. It'll just kind of show up on there, but no set date. Like last night, I did one on Joe C, my other channel, and then I do them on Wendy's channel too. Like tomorrow, I'll probably do one on Gulf Island Rock. It was called The Proof Is Out There, Sandor. Yeah. So, it's just I'm a kind of a random type guy. I do things randomly. And so I do them here and there. I decided, I'll do one today. I said yesterday on my Jungle Joe C live stream, I'll do it on Banana JSSI. And I try to do a live stream every week, right? And I do them later. Most of the time I'm retired. And I got lots of time on my hands now, which is good. I'm going to be a lot busier when I'm working in the nursery more, but I'll be doing live streams outside. But with Wendy's iPad, I often do go out into the garden, and I'll take her iPad out into the garden and I'll live stream out there. And tomorrow, I think it's going to be nice tomorrow. I'll do a live stream out there, or I can even do one from the coffee shop. If Wendy and I go to the coffee shop, we can do a live stream there. Oh, thanks, Palm Planet. Yeah. Caleb won. I said when I hit 31K, Caleb's going to, whoever was the first to comment on that video, Caleb won. He was the first to comment, so I sent him some seeds. Let's see the unprotected palms in Nova Scotia. I want to see those non-protected palms in Nova Scotia. I saw a Blackwood Acacia vid. Oh, you did see it? Awesome. So how's it look? How's it look there, Jane? I think I was there a couple of days ago and it looks pretty good. Blackwood Acacia growing in town. That is a Acacia melanoxylon. So anyway, I want to see the palms unprotected in Nova Scotia right now. So can anybody give me a weather report from Nova Scotia? I mean, Nova Scotia's a tiny province, and are they having mild weather or cold weather? I don't know. I haven't been following the weather actually anywhere in Canada right now. I'm just kind of watching ours, and ours is seasonal. I think it's supposed to be 9 degrees tomorrow or the next day, something like that. And today we were up 9 degrees or so it wasn't that bad. And the low temps have been they've been like 6 degrees. Nova Scotia, yeah. So Tropical PDX, I did get into a heated discussion with the guy. He messaged me again and sent me a picture of his palm tree. He says he grows palm trees, and this palm tree picture he sent me, like I say, it was about 5 feet tall to the top of the fronds. And it looks like a newly planted palm tree to me, and it hasn't been through any winters with no protection. Make sure to collect seeds. The gauge seed might be. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that, Jane. If it gets seeds on it, it flowers. It does flower. It gets these white flowers on it. So if it flowers this year, gets seeds, I'll grab some. 9 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, 9 degrees Celsius, not 9 degrees Fahrenheit. When I talk, it's in Celsius. Okay. Tomorrow, me. 9 degrees Celsius. Celsius is a lot different than Fahrenheit. If it was 9 degrees Fahrenheit, the garden would not be very happy. So I just want to let you know, our garden doesn't look any different than it did before the snow and the cold came. Okay, so we had 1 week of snowy, crappy, cold weather here, but we get zero wind. Lowest temperature up in our garden was 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Down on the lower screen at the bottom of the slope, I had a minus 8 degrees Celsius there. So that's around 17.5, I think, Fahrenheit. So that's pretty cold. Nothing down there is damaged. I don't see any damage on anything down there. It's funny. Well, except that I shouldn't say that. The mule palm does have some frost burn to the frond tips on it, but I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, Celsius. There's only 3 countries on the whole planet that don't use Celsius. I had a Nova Scotia palm grower show up on my YouTube because I watched his videos. Yeah, interesting. Well, you know what? Tropical PDX. I think this is the link right there. There's a link I just posted for you of what the palm tree looks like in Halifax early spring after they've taken the box off of it, okay? You tell me if that looks like a healthy specimen. To me, it looks like it could pick my teeth with it. It's that skinny, right? So it doesn't look very good to me. It actually looks like shit. Excuse my French. Excuse my French, Jane. There's a lady in the house. I got to watch what I say. So it doesn't look good to me. It's kind of like when I go through a forest here in certain areas and the trees are growing too close to each other, and I call them pecker poles, and they got all these tiny little trees, like it needs to be thinned out. That's what that palm tree looks like. It looks like a pecker pole. It's like super skinny and really sparse crown on it. It doesn't look good. Acacia melon auction seeding has by leaves like a mimosa when young. Just yes, it does. It does, Jane. You are right. And I pray that it gets some season. It doesn't look good, does it, Tropical PDX? It does not look good. And so the one that the guy sent me in Messenger on Facebook, it looked really nice. It had a nice full crown on it. It was something that was just planted, no doubt. Or he puts a structure over it if it's been through the winters. There's no possible way it looks that good going through a Nova Scotia winter. USD, Liberia, some countries. Was it 4 countries? Okay, 4 countries. Not a lot of them. But you know what? I know both. I know Fahrenheit and I know Celsius. And you know, when I'm buying lumber from the lumber store, the lumber yard, I do feet and inches. I don't get into the metric stuff when I'm buying lumber. I buy a 2x4. Great to see you on here. Yeah, good to see all you guys in here, man. It's nice. We're all pals. And you know, it's funny. When I'm not chatting with you guys on here in the daytime, I'm always chatting on that right there. Like that's how I connect with the world as well on my two-way radio. And I'm talking to people a lot. Some imported sodium application on. Oh, really? No way. That's cool. Not ours, unfortunately, Jane. Not ours. I call BS on unpractical. Oh, same with me, Donna. I told the guy he's full of crap. He told me he's a horticulturalist and I don't know anything about palm trees. So anyway, I call BS too. Well, I want him to join in the live stream. I told him I'd be live. He should be joining in. Kiss the baby. Mike's in there. Hi, Mike, Pennsylvania. I'm learning St. Lucian. Wow, 7 languages. Good for you. That's awesome. Planet can't complain. It's a little rainy, at least warm, being busy in the garden. Cool. Yeah. Good for you, Tropical PDX. I'm getting the vegetable garden ready because Wendy and I are planning on growing a vegetable garden this year. Last year we didn't. We're too busy doing other things. But this year I'm retired. So Dallas, right on. You're on here, buddy. Good to see you, man. So this is my main channel, actually. Okay. This channel I've had a long time, for 12 years. And then my original channel, I still have it, but I don't upload to it. I started in 2008, and it's got like 1,000 and something videos on it, but it's just kind of sitting out there in YouTube land. It's still getting some subscribers here and there, but I don't upload to it anymore. This is my main channel. Banana J SSI is my second channel. That when I started in 2012, April 2012. This one I started at the beginning of July 2010. And the other one, BJ616, was 2008. I think I started that one. So quite some time ago. This one's got a lot of videos on it. I think it's probably getting close to 20,000 videos. Maybe somebody can tell me. I don't look, but I'm guessing it's probably getting close to 20,000. Maybe there's 17,000 videos on this channel. I know it sounds absolutely insane, but it's up there. That's it's cool to remember number of nights in the teens. Teens, not so bad. Not going to kill your palms there. That's a good thing. Hopefully everything is. Yeah, I think as long as it doesn't last, Palm Planet, like 1 or 2 nights in the teens won't be bad. As long as your daytime temperatures bounce above freezing. Koa trees on commonly have narrow. Oh, do they? Cool. So yeah, I pray, Jane, that. Is that how many? 16,070 videos? Okay, there you go. Thanks for telling me. I don't know. I was just guessing. I just threw a guess out there. So 16,070 videos. And you know what? How many does Jungle Joe C have? Jungle Joe C is actually connected with this channel, okay? When I go to this channel on my homepage, it says Jungle Joe C / Banana JSSI. So Jungle Joe C has thousands of videos too, but not as many as this one. Phantom, hey Joe, you should declare part of island. I wish we could. I talked about that the other day. I'd like to separate from Canada. How'd that be? No more Justin Castro. Get rid of that guy. He needs to go. I thought I heard Wendy. Koa trees grows fast with rainfall. 75. You know what? 75 inches. We get 36 We get about 36 inches of rainfall here, sometimes a little bit more. So we get less than that. Just find the raised country. Wow, yeah, no. Palm Planet, 4,918 videos. Okay, so between the two channels, there are over 20,000 videos. Justin Castro beans, yeah. So that's 16. What is that one? What does this one have? 16,000 and something. 16,070, and the other one has 4. So that's 20,000, and wow, that's like 21,000 vids, just about 21,000 vids. That's a lot of videos. And then I'm at BJ616. I think I have 1,030 or 40. That's like 22,000 vids. I've been making videos a long time. Alaska together would make an interesting. Yeah, they would be. I love Alaska. I have a beautiful BC license plate in my room that is. Oh, that's not beautiful BC. You know what that is, man? That's Guam. That's from the island of Guam, USA, right there. Pretty cool, eh? And then, you know what? I had another one. Wendy got rid of it. We had a lot of license plates. There's Hawaii. And here's a good old one here, too. There's Saskatchewan, 1969. That one's mint. Actually, I bought that in Hawaii. But yeah, this is a pretty cool one. A mint one from Guam. Pretty cool. We got our garage, our shed door is covered in. Put that in there. Our shed door is covered in license plates. Wendy's got some really old license plates out there. Our oldest BC license plates are 1952, I think. 13,609 feet tall. So, yeah, I don't know how many. I never really checked to see how many videos I got. I just know I have a lot of them because I upload every day. I've never missed a day of uploading since I started YouTube. Did you know that? I've uploaded videos every day, or at least I shoot videos every single day. I've never missed a day of shooting a video. That's 14 years of shooting videos. You have 1,000. Okay, cool. So 1,000. You got a lot of videos too, Palm Planet. Tons of them. I think Wendy has like 1,000 videos as well. Koa trees grow slower in dry, windy areas and are compact. 30 feet. That's a pretty good sized tree, though. 30 feet tall, Jane. Mauna Kea. Hey, Jane, how tall is Mauna Kea? Isn't it like 13,000 feet or something like that? There's Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea. I'm not too sure which one is higher. There's Kilauea, Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea. I think Mauna Loa is the highest, isn't it? You think you're in the middle of Tennessee? There are palm trees in Tennessee. Hey, I worked some really good stations in Tennessee today, Dallas. I worked Six Pack, but I also worked some in my mobile today. I actually uploaded the video on Jungle Joe C. That's more like my radio channel and other stuff, but I do have radio videos on this. If you look way in the past, I do have radio videos on this one too. I uploaded ages ago. You have 565. There's still a lot of videos. Do you think the other middle of Tennessee live in tropical? It is actually subtropical. I think Tennessee is a subtropical type climate. Pronouncing Kia like Kia, Mauna Kea. In Hawaii, dry forest inland, a bit more rainfall, leeward coast. Interesting. We stay on the leeward side in Maui because it's dry. Yeah, that's a crazy amount of us. I think Wendy's definitely over 1,000 on Gulf Island Rock. I'm not too sure. You guys could tell me. You guys know more than me. I don't. I just keep putting videos on, and yeah, they add up. I mean, sometimes I'll put a few videos on a day, sometimes 2 videos, and Jungle Joe C. I try to keep that one active too, right? But like I say, BJ616, that's a thing of the past. That's done. Tallest base in the world. Mauna Kea is the tallest from the base. Oh, so Mauna Kea is the tallest then. They say from the ocean floor, it's 30,000 feet or something. I'll catch up. I'm second shift. Sometimes I get. Oh, cool. Right on. Well, right on, Dallas. Mauna Kea is the tallest, but highest on Earth. Yeah, from the ground, from the ocean floor, right? Oh, she's got that many already? Wow. Wendy's got 1,581. Holy crap. Rainfall under 50 inches annually is dry forest. Yeah, we have about 36 inches annually here. We're sub-Mediterranean. Other videos. Oh, 1,033. Okay. How do you guys find all this out? I guess it tells it somewhere, right? Mauna Kea is over 13,000 feet. So cold up there. Got to plant some palms up there, James. I got to send Jane some Trachycarpus seeds. I can't get seeds into Hawaii, though. That's the problem. I can get seeds out of Hawaii. I really want to go back to Hawaii badly. I hope things open up one day and I can go back to Hawaii. 38 inches in DC area annually. Okay, so you're basically about the same as us. We could be 36, 38 inches annually. If you search up a channel on YouTube, it tells you the number of videos under the title. Okay, cool. Thanks, Palm Planet. Cool. It's good to know. I wonder what YouTuber has the most amount of videos. There's got to be somebody out there with like bag loads of them, right? The only few hundred Mauna Kea. Is it really Pecan Vista? My Ontario brother. Your Ontario brother. Hopefully things are back to normal in June later. I hope so, man. I really hope so. I really want to go. I really need to go back to Maui. I need this crap to be over with, and I just want to travel again. We were actually 15 inches due to global warming. 15 inches? That is not a lot of rain. Because I know Waikiki was around 21 inches. You know what I mean? Where I stay in Kihei, Maui, it's around 9 or 10 inches. I don't know inches there. So 650 millimeters of rain a year. That's not a lot. Oh, the big one. Yeah, there's a big eruption over in Tonga. Travel, but I am. You're boosted. So you can travel anywhere, Palm Planet. You're lucky. I need to move. Yeah, well, we're planning on doing it, but I can't leave right now. So this is as warm as I'm going to get right here on Salt Spring. Rainfall is decreasing. That's not good, man. If it's decreasing. You know what? Our summers are extremely dry here, and they've always been extremely dry. It starts getting dry here in the spring. Winters here are very wet, very, very wet. And we had a ton of rain in November. I've been to Haiti before, but you know, I don't know if you'd want to live in Haiti. It's pretty third world, a lot of poverty there. 43 inches, not 38, my bad. So 43 is not that bad either. 43 is not a lot of rain. Vancouver, I think, is around 50. I think close to 50. Tofino is about 144 inches a year. Tofino gets a lot of rain. I think Port Renfrew is around 136, 140 inches a year. I'd love to move to Cuba small. Yeah, I would too. I could handle Cuba, man. Any tropical island would be good for me. 57 in Manchester, Tennessee. Cool. I used to have a friend that lived in Hickson, Tennessee. And I know Zach lives around Henderson, Tennessee. And today I talked to Nashville, Tennessee. I talked to Memphis, Tennessee. And then I talked to the Smoky Hills of Tennessee on my radio. As poor I can afford. Yeah, you know, I'll show you something I bought in Haiti. Do I have it in here still? I don't. Oh, I do. Right here. And you know what? They say Haiti on them. See that? Haiti. Got the maracas. I bought these in Haiti, and they were just pennies to buy. Right there. I bought them from some dude on the beach. He made them. And then I bought a really nice bowl from him, too. A really beautiful carved bowl. It's in the basement. The Windward Coast has, yes, the Windward Coast does have more. How many inches on Salt Spring? Depends where you are here. About 35, 36 inches. And if it's a really wet year, it could be closer to 40 inches. So not a lot of rain. It is a Mediterranean climate here. So we're in a rain shadow. Haiti is poor. Yes, it is poor. Wisely. 12 zones. Wow. I'm 55. You're 55 miles southeast of Nashville. Cool. I'd like to go to Tennessee, man. You know what I want to see? I want to see Graceland. I'd like to see Graceland Mansion. I think that would be so cool to see, where Elvis used to hang out. Zach was here, you'd be banned. I don't know where Zach is. Yeah, I know. He doesn't buy. I don't care if it's Bigfoot. I don't know where Zach is. He hasn't been around for a while. I'm not going to ban anybody. If they're not causing any problems, who cares? You know what I mean? Let them have fun. Everybody's just having fun in here. It's just chatting. We're just chatting. If you want to talk about weather, food, you want to talk about your CB radio, you want to talk about what you did today. And like I said, what I did today, I picked up more seaweed from the beach. I consider 40-inch rain moderately dry. Yeah. So Jane, here they grow olive trees. They have a big olive farm, and I want to get by the olive farm and see how it did through the cold weather. We're just having fun. Exactly. It's just having fun. There's no need to ban anybody. You can kick people off that are spamming. You get these spammers in here, and they're a problem. I don't know. I get sick of those spammers. And we get them call here all the time, too. We get scammers call here all the time. They called us and woke us up this morning. I got sick and tired of those guys. My dad let me, you got a KTM 450? Awesome. That is a badass bike. The neighbor next door has a KTM 250. KTM are badass bikes. The distribution numbers have been more important than the total amount. Exactly. That's right. We're just having fun. Joe, based on your videos, it seems like you have more sunny days than down. We get 2,000. How many sunny days? I'm thinking how many hours we get. 2,000. Is it 2,020 or 2,100? Maybe it's 2,100. 2,100 sunny days a year, something like that. It's interesting. The Southern Gulf Islands are in a rain shadow, so it is drier, and we do get more sun than the surrounding areas around us. I hate spam bots. I get spam bots here. Today, my friend from Kansas flew to see me, and you didn't tell him. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Another place I'd like to see, Kansas. So, see, there's a spammer right here. This Harry Jones guy. This guy that's Harry Johns. I don't know. He's VOH.FYI. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? That's a spammer. Good. Thanks for getting rid of him, Caleb. Thank you. So anyway, today, weather here, we have, let me look at the temperature. It is 8.5 degrees Celsius and cloudy skies. So not too bad. It's seasonal weather here. So we'll take it. It's a lot better than minus 5 degrees Celsius. It's better than that cold snap we had a few weeks ago. I'm praying that that's the last cold snap for the winter, right? I am praying. And Tropical PDX, I know you've been having some good weather down there too. It's been mild, right? Man's was a girl. Mayo Z-Dog was a girl. Joe, we have some nice stretch of dry weather coming up over there. Oh, good. Perfect. Piece of me, that's good. Because you're not that far south of me. And generally what you get, we can get here too. I've never ridden. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I've always ridden with a clutch, right? 2,000. So you probably get more sun there than us then. 2, 3, 4 per hour if you're in Portland. So you guys get a lot of sun there. Yeah, I don't think we get that much. I mean, it's pretty dry here. And our summers are terribly dry. But Portland definitely gets hotter too. Definitely hotter. I've been down there in the summertime. And you know what? I was down there in the winter too. I went down there in January 1997. We drove down to Oregon City and picked up a bunch of greenhouses for where I used to work. Actually, the ridge, 56 inches of rain. That's a little bit more than Vancouver, I think. Yeah, Vancouver. Does Hawaii still have beaky bikes? Oh, you mean the ones with the 3 wheels where the people pedal them for you? 50s here still 800. Oh, so you're under 32. Yeah, we haven't been below freezing for a while. So our last frost was, and I mentioned it on Jungle Joe, see it, you missed it. Our last frost was, I will tell you when our last frost was. It was minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 on the 8th of January, okay? So that's the last time we've been below freezing. 8th of January, minus 0.5. 1C outside. Okay, so a little cooler. 14 hours of sunshine per year here. Some parts of Scotland get 800. Wow, that's it? That's not a lot, is it? And sounds like, Jane, you've been doing some awesome hiking. Reason why your trees are doing well, the mist. Yeah, this time of the year, it's definitely damp, Jane. And, when you look out the window, it looks like a freaking rainforest. Joe knows something about Germany. I got palm trees in the garden from Germany. I can tell you that. I have 3 palm trees in our garden from Germany. And a friend of mine I used to work with brought me back some seeds from Germany. And I planted them. That was at my last place. And you wouldn't believe it if you saw how small these palms are. They're from the 1980s. And they're shorter than me, I can tell you that. They're just tiny, tiny palms. They're stunted. 8 Fahrenheit dragon palms. Cool. 8 Fahrenheit. The coldest my trackie survived was minus 14.8 degrees Celsius. So I think that's 6.8 or 4.8. What is it? Minus 14. Yeah, it's 4. Was it 4.8? What's minus 14.8 degrees Celsius? What is that in Fahrenheit? 55 Fahrenheit and then tomorrow. Well, 55 is pretty nice. We'll take 55. You know what? I'm fine with seasonal weather here. Summer, wet winter. Yeah, so we have wet winters, Jane, and super dry summers. And our summers are hard on our plant. Have you considered putting up a set of beams? Yes. If I stay here, Dallas, not a set of beams, but just a 3-element Yagi. I've ran beams in the past. My very first beam in the 1970s was a horizontal, flat side V-quad. And then I bought a flimsy Lindsay. I bought a Lindsay 4-element, both polarity beam back in the late 70s. I never even put the thing up. I ended up selling it. I had it for a few years, sold it. And then in 1980, I put up, January 1980 to be exact, I put up a 2-element high gain quad Eliminator 2 beam, a full quad at my last location on a 30-foot tower with 6 feet of mass. It was one wavelength up. And then I ran that through a 600-watt Chris Big Boomer linear amplifier. I still got pictures of it. So I had this Chris Big Boomer tube job linear amplifier. Man, did that crank out the power. Cranked out the power when I point my antenna towards somebody, especially local, they'd really hear me well. So, yeah, so there you go. Newport News. There's palms in Newport News. My temp measure thing outside my house says 33. My phone says 41. So not so bad, Caleb. So anyway, yeah, so 1 beam, Dallas, like a 3-element flat side Yagi. That's what I want. You know, years ago, Radio Shack used to sell them, and I should have bought one, but I never did. But I'm looking at the Serio. There's a Serio beam I'm looking at right now. So if I end up staying here, I probably will get a beam. I know a guy that'll sell me a rotor. He's got a rotor just, on the big island next to me. There's 2 guys I talk to local every day. They live just across the ocean. It's a 20-minute ferry ride to Vancouver Island, which is just to the west. And he's got a rotor he would sell me. And I could use that. It's just a Channel Master rotor. It's an Archer rotor. It's an old Radio Shack rotor. Don't need a heavy-duty rotor for a 3-element beam. Acacia trees. Yeah, there's some really nice acacia trees here. Metrosideros polymorpha can be found semi-dry areas. So they like the drought. Christian Boom hurt linear amplifier. Christian Boom. Linear amplifier beams aren't, we both know that, but some days it is a game changer. These sell them, but up 40-foot tower. Yeah, it has to be, but they're so expensive too, Dallas. They're so expensive. Jane, I just got Metrosideros umbrella the other day. Will be oh, cool. Let us know how it does their adventurous allotment here. Yeah, you know, my 2-element beam was about the same dimensions as a high gain, my 2-element high gain quad was the same dimensions as a PDL2. Where's your favorite place on Vancouver Island? Well, lately I really like Port Renfrew. I just love Port Renfrew because it's super quiet. 144 people live there, and it's an hour-and-a-half drive straight across the island, basically. It's so nice. So we're going to go there again in the spring. I think Wendy's daughter will probably come with us. She'll probably really like it there. Tofino and Ucluelet, I really love too. Tofino, Ucluelet, and Port Renfrew. Port Renfrew, but there's not a lot of stuff in Port Renfrew. There's you got to bring a lot of stuff when you go there. So there's a little general store. Everything's super expensive. There's a gas station. There's a little cafe. There's a restaurant, was closed when we were there, tiny restaurant. And then there's a pub and a marina. Still remember my first Radio Shack portable, 84. Cool. Sandor. That'd be cool if you still had it. I talked to a couple guys in Ontario today, buddy. I have neem. Neem, like neem oil. Yeah, 1984. Right on. Well, I still got my first one, and I'm going to stand by it right. Where is it? This one right here. You see this one? This right here. I'll get that out of the way. That is I got a dummy load on it right now. I have the other antenna. I could take the antenna up to 458, but that one. So this one here, I bought in 1977. This is a TRC 452. It's not even digital. And then this 458, February 1978, bought this one, and I still use it. And that D104 I bought in the 70s. Still use the D104. The only thing I did back then is I put a new cord on it. I just took it off a stock Rad Shack mic. So I still got my radios, and then I got this one here, which is kind of cool. See that one? Right there. That's a TRC 48 with a Siltronics 90 variable frequency oscillator on it. And I bought that. I've had that for over 40 years. So, yeah, so this is my radio room. And, Hawaii was coming in really good today, but they didn't hear me. I don't think they heard me. They were coming in on AM on channel 28, and I was in my car. But there was just too much noise in there. I was in my truck, and I could hear the Hawaiian Islands coming in on channel 28 AM, which was kind of cool. I talked to Pennsylvania today, though. Hey, Mike, I did talk to PA. That's pretty cool. Radio Shack. They don't even make radios anymore, man. Sandor, they don't even have them. I used to go in there, love looking at them. Yes, sir, I saved my 2 years basic, get beams, rotor, and all the... Oh, wow. What type of beam are you running, man? So you're probably running, are you running stack beams? That's pretty cool, Dallas. Yeah. I used to know a guy, and he lived out in White Rock, and he had 2 stacked Moonrakers, big ones, on a 60-foot tower as a crank-up tower. And he had a DAC radio. This was 40 years ago. This is when I saw his Radio Shack was 1981. I went out there. It was 80 or 81. It might have been 1980. And I think it was 80. And it was just unbelievable. This guy's Radio Shack blew me away. His radio but the beams were amazing. Bracken ferns are indigenous to Hawaii. Are they really? Yeah, I think we have bracken ferns here too. Palms grow near Arctic. No, I don't think so. No palms near Arctic. I love Radio Shack above my first. Oh, cool. Pet Commodore. I used to love going there too. Go to 4625. I can't go there. My radios only go to 30 megahertz. Even my DX302 receiver, it only goes to 30 megahertz. I don't have any really HF band. It's found worldwide. That's so cool. I didn't know that. I mean, we got them growing here. And they're growing on our property. They're the ones that grow tall, right? We got tons of sword ferns. Yeah, I don't have those frequencies there, Yucho. There's palms on Iceland's east coast, apparently. I've always thought of palms growing in Iceland. Flatside Mako, nice. Right on. That is beautiful. That's a good beam. Makos are awesome beams. Flatside, that's all I want. And how many element is it? I'm curious. Is it a 3, 4, 5 element? Oh, James. James. Is James in there? James. Is James Palms in there? Jane's in there. Where's James? Did I miss him? No. I see James. I think, where's James? Bracken. I think James is in Florida or something. Brackenburns grows in semi-dryers. Yes, they do. They do. They go down. So the 7, you got a 7 element Mako. That is badass. That's a badass beam, man. I bought Amazon for $20. Okay, yeah. That one there, is that a handheld one? Must be a handheld one. Oh, your name is James. Okay, I was thinking of James from Ontario. Cool. 7 element Mako. That is a cool beam, man. I like the Joe Gunn beams too. They're pretty cool. Mako. Anyway, when I'm looking at their Dallas, it's just a Serio, nothing fancy. It's just a 3 element beam. They're around $390 Canadian, but you still got to get the rotor. I got the masting, not a big deal. I would put it on my roof. And that's my plan, is to get one of those things if I stay here and don't move away. James was in Key West. Yeah, I think so. He's in Key West. He likes to go down to Florida. Ferns are also native to Maui. Yes, they are. It's handled and battery powered. And cool. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a pretty neat little radio there. I sometimes see bracken wild hiking. They're neat. They look pretty tropical, the bracken ferns. You know, another nice fern that grows here is the licorice fern. There's a licorice fern, and it actually grows on the sides of trees. And pretty mossy trees, you'll see these licorice ferns growing off of them. Great Palmcast. Okay, see you soon, Anthony. Stay tuned for more videos of unicorns if I see unicorns. I can't guarantee it, though. That was the only unicorn I've actually ever seen, and I was really upset that my camera chip was right at the end. Like I got the 25 seconds of that video, and then it just kind of died, my camera chip, out of memory. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to get another camera chip. But I'm glad I got what I did. 25 seconds is better than nothing. And I took 2 photos. Okay, take care. Are you heading, Sandor? Take care, man. You might find bracken fern in a field in that country. Oh, is that right? Yeah, I've never seen any there, but we definitely have them here. Unicorns. Yeah, did you see that video of the unicorn? Hey, fan of me? It's pretty funny. I also found a bunch of vintage SW short. Oh, wow, cool. Oh, shortwave radios. That's awesome. My shortwave radio is pretty cool. Let me turn it on. I got to hook the antenna up to it, but it's a pretty badass shortwave radio. Right down there, you see it? I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see, but it's a big one. Looks like a ham radio, and it's got the old school SWR there, but it's digital. It's got a digital frequency counter in it. I bought that Radio Shack. It's a DX302. Bought that when I bought it when I was 16 years old. So anyway, talk to you guys soon. Talk to you soon, Sandor. Good to have you in there, man. Take it easy and enjoy the night. And like I say, spring is getting near. Every day is getting a little bit longer, right? Getting a little bit longer. I'm kind of upset my friend from Nova Scotia isn't in here. The guy that claims that all the palm trees are grown in Nova Scotia. I was hoping he would have joined in the live stream. This kind of sucks. This is kind of a bummer. I wish he was in here to share some of the palm tree stories in Nova Scotia. Did you know that Kim Jong-un, isn't he that dude in Korea? He's that Korean dude, right? He's a dude with a funny haircut. That's what he is. Let me turn off my radio. I should start listening to some shortwave. I really should. Turn that on. See if my buddies come in there. They're usually on channel 27385. I heard they grow palms. Yeah, he's probably the same guy in Nova Scotia. See, he was probably growing them in Alberta, and then he moved to Nova Scotia to grow them. But I know there's that one guy in Alberta that really wants to grow palm trees badly. You know, you can grow palms in Alberta in a pot and then bring them in the wintertime. There's no way a palm is going to survive in Alberta. And you're going to really have to box it in well and put lots of heat with it, right? Because it gets too damn cold there. Yeah, and I'm not even sure where Erie Island is. I mean, I'm thinking it's in one of the lakes, right? It's in Lake Erie. Hey, Cincy Tropics, where are you? What is your location? Are you back east or are you in the States? I forget. My memory's going. I'm getting older, guys. I didn't think there was any palms in Cincinnati. Okay, cool. Actually, I talked to Ohio today, too, on my radio. I talked to a couple guys in Ohio, Toledo, and somewhere else in the Buckeye State. I know there's palm trees in South Korea on the island, Jeju Island, Jeju Island. There's lots of palm trees there. That's cool. And there are palm trees in Ohio. There are guys that grow needle palms and sable minor palms in Ohio because I've seen them. There's actually another guy that posts pictures of what appears to be a Trachycarpus nova, super skinny trunk on it. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen needle palms growing in Ohio. He posts pictures sometimes in Zone Pushers or maybe in one of my groups. Briar, Erie Island. 6B. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know much about Erie Island. I don't even know do people live there? What's Peely Island like? There's also Peely Island off of the south end of Ontario. Does anybody live on Peely Island? Can somebody confirm that? Do you know there's 2 islands off the coast of Atlantic Canada, off of Newfoundland, and I think it's like a 20 or 30-minute ferry ride. 7A, yeah, Peely 7A. Dwarf blue pimento needle palm sabagiac is cool in Ohio. Interesting. I'd love to grow one in Australia. Yeah, that one would be good, but they're hard to get a hold of. Adventurous, very hard. Peely is 6B. See, I always thought it was 7A. Juanilla is a very expensive palm tree, and it's kind of like Parajubea. We have a pretty good sized Parajubea in our garden here, and I didn't buy it. A friend of mine bought it for me, and it was not cheap. Yes, they do. They like the heat. Well, you've seen my videos. There is sable palms growing here on our coast. There's a sable rosei growing at Grace Point for 25 years now. Never protected. Actually, I just uploaded a video of it this morning or last night. Another video update. So, it's 7A. Canada says 7A for Peely. So, John Spalding in Seattle has a sable cassearum growing beside his place, kind of like beside the sidewalk. He planted it in 1989, and it's big now. And Walt Rockefeller, he's passed away now, and I remember seeing the palm in 1997 in his garden. It's taller than me, and I would say the trunk on it, Dave Alvarez posted a pic. I think the trunk on his palmetto must be about this big now. It's big. It's growing in his front yard in Seattle, right? So they do grow. $7A, yeah. That's what I thought. They're $7A. Let me turn this off. Just a bunch of static. Yeah. So sable minor would grow down there. It is cold. And I know there's some chilly air infiltrated some of the states right now. Hopefully it'll pass through quickly and you'll be done with winter. I think Peely Island is 7A for sure. That's what it says on the Canadian zone map. I don't know what it says on the American zone map, but it says a 7A on the Canadian. Same with Windsor too. Yeah. So what's it like right there, Cincy Tropics? Is it cold right now? As long as the lake doesn't freeze, you're okay. My mom is in Niagara 7A. They are. Yeah, they're having pretty cold. So is Niagara actually a 7A? So I know Pineapple Dan grows butia in his garden, but he protects it. How do Vancouver? Yeah, I haven't seen any updates either. I'd like to. So I'm going to post in my group on Facebook, people who love palm trees and exotic plants, if somebody can post some updates of the palms. So in December 1990, it was extremely brutally cold, the weather they had there, the cold snap, and the palms did fine. It was absolutely so brutally cold too. And they did they went through no problem at all. So it'll be interesting to see how they did in the -11, which is pretty cold. That's just about 5 degrees colder than what we had here in our garden. I talked to Kentucky today too. I talked to South Carolina too. I put the video on the other channel. Yes, North Shore, Lake Ontario, 79. Okay, St. Catharines. Wow, cool. Yes, 34 Fahrenheit right now, expecting a single digit lows in a couple days. So protect those palms. Give them a little help. I would. Do tomatoes like heat? Yes, they love it. I gave mine a heat lamp. Yes, tomatoes love heat. I'm not even going to bother growing any tomatoes in our garden. It's just like, I'm gonna put them up on the sun deck where it's way hotter, and I can water them more. I can't get enough water to our garden where it is. It's quite far from the house. I'm only going to be able to water it every maybe few days. So that's what I'm going to have to do. Grow tomatoes in pots by the house. Is it really? I don't know. I'm not. I don't really remember the flag of South Carolina. I just know I talked there a lot. 14 Fahrenheit in a few days. 14 Fahrenheit, not too bad. My palms have. Yeah, my palms have been through some pretty cold temperatures over the years because some of them I brought from my last place to here. And I lived in zone 8A, 8B, right? So they've seen some very cold temperatures, especially our biggest and oldest palm. I planted in February 1987. And when it was smaller, it went through that brutal freeze of early February 1989. It was in a half barrel. And what I did, I pushed it under the overhang beside the house, and I wrapped the half barrel up with a blanket, big thick blanket. And did I wrap the trunk? I don't even remember wrapping the trunk of the palm. You know what I mean? And but I did cover up the half barrel so it couldn't freeze. At least I hope it didn't freeze, because the palm's still alive, obviously, right? It didn't freeze. And it went through that freeze. It made it. And the palm did fine. And now it's like 20 feet tall. Single digits, Niagara. We busted a foot of snow. Wow, single digits. Okay, so they're getting their cold. My palms have seen worse. They'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine. I think those guys in Vancouver Metro would have been growing. Well, there's a lot of guys that are really new into growing palms, adventurous a lot. I mean, and they haven't really been through cold winters before their palm trees, and they don't think about the cold winters. They'll go and buy all these really cool exotic plants for their garden and make their garden look really tropical. But in the back of your mind, you got to think it could get really cold. We are in Canada. You could get like a once every 10-year cold blast, and it could wipe out some of your palms or damage them. So one guy posted a picture, and his jubea, he was in Coquitlam. It looked really brown. It didn't look good. It looked very, very damaged. And same even his trachy's. His trachycarpus had damaged fronds on him. So he must have got down into the single digits for sure. Palm Daddy just shot a video of his garden. He did have some damage, and he's in Bowen Island, so he's quite a ways northeast of us, right? That's basically a bedroom community island of Vancouver. Nice there, beautiful, but colder temperatures there than here on the Southern Gulf Islands. They're up in the 49th degree latitude. They're above that, and we're down at 48. So we will fight 10 more years without an event. Exactly. So the last bad event we had here, which I consider a bad winter piece of me, was December 2008. That was the bad one for me. And I'll never forget the bad winters. I got newspaper clippings cut out of the bad winters here, but these guys that had just been growing palms 3 or 4 years, they're putting all this really tender stuff in, like date palms and Washingtonias and this and that. I know they're short term. A bad winter is going to wipe them out. They're going to be done. The base planting of your garden should be Trachycarpus fortunei. Throw some waggies in there. Sable minor's good. Needle palm's good. And Camarops are foolproof here too. Everything else I just kind of deem is experimental. Camadorias have actually proven themselves too. Radicalis and Microspadex. Share some letters with Russian. Every winter, my friends wrap up their tropical palm trees here in South Florida. What? No way. They wrap them? You're kidding. I know in northern Florida it can get cold. Several below zero events coming northeast. Ooh, that's not good. Below zero events. That is not good. That is not good for the Nova Scotia palm trees. I've seen needle palms here in Cincinnati. Yeah, needle palms are king of the frost beaters, man. They are tough, especially bigger ones, right? So we have 7 needle palms in our garden, but it just never gets cold enough to bother them. They are slower here. The oldest one I have now is about 19 years. About 19 years ago, I planted 18, 19 years ago. I think it was 2001. Maybe it's 20 years ago. Yes, the most important thing is that bulletproof palms. They have a few. Exactly. It's kind of like, my buddy bought me the Parajubea, and that was super nice. I'm a super awesome guy. We've been friends for a long time, and he's got beautiful palm. I got him into palm growing years ago, but and I said, Phil, I don't want this palm to die. It could possibly die in a bad winter. To me, it's a short-term palm, a Parajubea, mountain coconut. So I put a patio umbrella over it, and I did wrap the trunk with burlap, and the fronds that I can see look good. The fronds sticking out of the burlap look good. It doesn't look like it's fried. That's good. So the 20 degrees Fahrenheit didn't bother it. He paid $500 for that palm. He bought me, and then the year before he came over with 2 waggies. He's bought me 2 Scheffleras. He's a good guy, man. He brought me some passion vine. Phil is a very generous guy, and I've known Phil for 31 years now, and he stays with us when he comes out. And when I went over to the mainland in December, we went over to his place. Hey, I thought of you today, Camel. I talked to South Carolina. I talked to a guy in South Carolina today. You can see the video on my other channel. South Carolina was coming in good. I like to give my palm trees extra heat in winter. Really? You do, eh? So you must be growing some maybe tender palm trees, right? Sable minor will defoliate that temp, but come back to since they will, eh? Okay. I've never had them defoliate here. I've had them suffer in the summertime. We got some nice sable minor out there, and 2 side by side. We have a lot of sable minor in the garden because I grow a ton of them from seed. And one of them, I did not water enough, and it does not look good, man. It just fried in the drought. Sundays and snow and ice finally melt from here. We are supposed to get more snow on Friday. Oh, you did get the snow, okay. Yeah. No, we can't move anywhere, Larry. We're kind of stuck here for now. So we'll be live streaming from Salt Spring Island for God only knows how long we'll be live streaming from here. I can't go anywhere. We're trapped on Salt Spring Island. Well, trapped in Canada. Tropical. I know of a. For extra growth. Well, you know what I do with the Sable Cossierum tropical PDX? You've probably seen my videos. I put a plastic bag over it. Now that doesn't provide any warmth for the when the cold blast comes, but it does provide a little bit of extra heat units for when we get the sunny day. So if we get a sunny day tomorrow, it kind of acts as like a little greenhouse and hopefully to push a little bit more growth out of it. I'll move some seedlings inside. Yeah, I would if they're in pots. It might be 17F. Okay, so that's getting down there cold. Yeah, I would move them in. I give my sable palmettos a heat lamp in winter. Really? Is that right, eh? Holy cow. I didn't think you'd have to do that in Florida. I love camels. Camels are good. Dubai. My daughter rode on them in Tunisia. Tunisia, that's where it was. She went to Tunisia about 4 years ago, and she rode on some camels. My daughter, Sammy. Right, time to sleep. Okay, adventurous. Good talk. Okay, take care. Up in 5 hours. Oh, my God. Okay, well, have a good night. Thanks for joining in. And join in again. Have a great day tomorrow. Well, it is tomorrow there. And it is 6:11 p.m. here, Pacific time. Dude was spamming. Extra heat could help some species develop more tolerance too. I guess so. Maybe builds up the sugars in the palms piece of me. And that's why a lot of palms in the deep south can survive those bad freezes. It's making grow faster, probably wasting my time. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, sable palmetto are pretty hardy palms, man. I mean, they will survive here in the North Pacific, but they do like the heat units. That's the thing. They like a lot more heat units than a Trachycarpus. Our palms are growing out there right now. Trachycarpus palms are growing out there. You get a 9 degrees Celsius day like today, and they're liking it. And even the new growth on the Trachycarpus palms nothing got damaged from that cold weather. None of the Trachycarpus palms are damaged. And like I say, I do see some damage on that mule palm for sure. The other one, no. Man, seafood it's going to get a lot more expensive now. Does Justin Castro stop truckers from coming into Canada? Some of them. Extra heat. Yeah. So I wasn't planning on going this long on this live stream, man. We're $1.27 into it. That's a long time. Wow. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. What time is it? 6:12. 612. That's my unit number on when I call DX on my AM CB radio. 612. Unbelievable. It's 6:12 here. I heard trackies don't need a ton. No, they don't. Trackies do not need a ton of heat at all. King Justin Castro. Seafood here is not so bad because we have an ocean around, right, Joe? So well, yeah. I do. I put it. You know what I did with mine, Tropical PDX? I put an umbrella over it. There are nice butias on Salt Spring Island, planted 28 years ago. Never flinch an inch in the coldest winters. So with mine, I bought it. Wendy bought it at Home Depot. I guess this might be its 5th year. She bought it when it was really small, and so it was actually in a pot in front of one of the B&Bs. And in the wintertime, I'd put it into the dry, non-heated tiki hut, and yeah. So I got an umbrella over it. Time for a convoy in Canada. I think they're doing it, Larry. I think there's a bunch of truckers driving to Ottawa. If you go to the Newport, Oregon. I've been to Newport, Oregon. Planted a mustard badger and a bunch of track. Let me know. Oh, cool. I like Newport. Newport, Oregon's awesome. I like Oregon. I like the state of Oregon. It is a great state. Now, if I could live anywhere on the Northwest besides here, it would be Brookings, Oregon. Brookings, Oregon. I would love to live there and create the most amazing garden ever in Brookings, Oregon. It'd be just so nice. And then my other choice, of course, would be Hawaii, right? But I can't move there. Our friend just went there. She sold her place on Salt Spring in September. She's been there since September, and she's trying to get an extended stay. With the Butia? Cool. Yeah, you got a big one there, don't you? Yeah. Jeff's in Victoria. His wife makes jelly out of the frickin' fruit on it. It's big. It's a big one. It was planted in the 90s. Everybody knows I'm big for that. I apologize. Yeah, no. Just leave him on here. I'd leave Bigfoot on here. He's fine. He's okay. He's been on here the whole stream. He's not hurting. I'm pretty sure my dwarf cabbages. Don't get rid of him. Just leave him on here. It's going to be warm around the Newport Brookings coast with days. Yeah, they can get temperatures in the 70s in January in Brookings. No kidding. Pretty sure my dwarf is dead. Yeah. Hopefully it comes back. Our bananas look like crap too. I will check that out when I go grab it. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's been in here the whole live stream. He hasn't caused any problems. I just leave him in here. He wants to join in. Yeah, leave him in. I wouldn't get rid of him. He's not swearing and he's not causing any problems. Maybe he'll learn something about palm trees too, which is a good thing. Kind of like the guy from Nova Scotia. I'm hoping the guy from Nova Scotia will join in. That's what we need. We need the guy from Nova Scotia to join in here. The guy that's telling me all these palm trees are growing all over Nova Scotia without winter protection. I told him I'm going to do it in a live stream, but he's not in the live stream. Come on. He said this winter would be extremely warm, meaning freezing every day. But how's the daytime temperatures? Are they above freezing or your daytime temperatures below freezing? Nantucket won't go below 25 versus England and Boston. Huge. You know what? I've often wondered about Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. Would Trachycarpus palm trees survive there? Yet nobody's ever showed me pictures of any of them growing there. Tropical PDX, barely above in the 30s. Oh, so it is in the 30s. Okay, so you are above freezing. See, so when we got below freezing, I think we only had 2 days that went above freezing out of the week. So basically 5 days, the temperatures in the daytime were below freezing and nighttime temperatures were well below freezing. We're into the 20s, right? Down into the lower 20s. Normally we get winter days in 50s. Yeah, so we're normal right now. We're in the mid 40s. This is our normal winter day in January. Highs of around 8 degrees Celsius, 7 or 8, and lows of around 1 degree Celsius. But the nighttime lows have been higher. Nantucket at 8B and 8A for you. Well, I would like to know if there are palm trees there because I've often wondered. I've never seen anything written in a journal of palm trees in Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard, but I thought for sure they could grow there. How much warmer are the Gulf Islands in the surrounding areas? Because here in central London, London is, I would say, warmer, Cal, than Salt Spring Island because there's massive date palms in London. They're at 49 degrees latitude, probably benefit from the Gulf Stream. We're at 48 degrees north latitude, and there's no massive date palms around here. There are some date palms, but no massive ones. In London, there's some big date palms. I've heard of them surviving in Long Island. Yep, I know of them in Long Island for sure. Savory Island. Savvy Island. I don't know that one. Charleston. Oh, that's not good for the palms in Charleston. I've been to Nantucket and it's cold there. Yeah, I'm guessing they probably get wind there, tropical PDX, right? Why did my coconut plant 10 feet in a year? Where do you live? You must live in the tropics. The ones in Maui growing on the beach. Every time I go there, it's just like it kind of beach just sitting there. It's growing, but it didn't reach 10 feet in even a few years. Martha's Vineyard is closer to the mainland, a few degrees colder in the winter, but warmer in summers. Needle palms. So no trackies, eh? Palms are cool. Is definitely going to have to protect some stuff. Here in Newport News, we're expecting 5 inches, 3 days. Well, hopefully the snow is not really a problem for the palms. It's the extreme cold and the prolonged cold. That's what's going to cause problems. We had a lot of freezing rain. Yeah, so yeah, that's one thing we never get here is freezing rain, thank God. I know of a guy growing needle palms. Yep, railboat, in Delaware too, Rhode Island. Cool. They take damage every year. That's pretty awesome. And there's some in Delaware too. And Sable Miners, some nice ones. I think because I gave it too much. Cow manure is good. I should actually put some of that in the garden. I got the seaweed in the garden, but we got to get some cow manure in there too. I live in southern Florida. Wow, that's tropical. We had freezing rains and no bombs are there. Oh, fine, cool. I remember freezing rain at my last location, and it was absolutely nasty. I got pictures of the palm trees coated with ice. I'd never seen anything like it. The first time it happened, and then it happened again, and then it happened like a few years later, and then it happened another time. And I remember driving, and it's like, oh my God, I couldn't. I had to turn around, come home. I was sliding all over the place. The road was like ice. It was terrible. It was breaking branches off of the native trees. Everything was coated in ice, and the wires came down too. There are some big mature trackies in Delaware that have survived for a minute. Yes, I've seen pictures of them. That's right. Pictures are posted on Zone Pushers, or maybe it was Cold Hardy Palms on Facebook. I've seen them. They're beautiful. We get freezing rain like crap. Yeah, we just don't get it here. Zero freezing rain here. Never. It's just something that never happens on the Gulf Islands, and I'm so happy because of it. It's been warm enough here. Oh, cool. Queen palm. Wow, you're in a good area, man. Oh, you live in skyscrapers surrounding. Oh, cool. Ton of pines grow bent down. Yeah, the ice is brutal. When you get an ice storm, we call that a silver thaw. And I'll never forget. I looked out my bedroom window, and so the ice happened in the middle of the night. I'm sleeping, and I get up, and I had this big magnolia tree behind my window. The caliper on the trunk was about like this. And I look out my window and I didn't see my magnolia tree anymore. And I said, what the F? And I looked down and it was laying on the ground. It had bent over, but it didn't break. It was coated with ice and there's nothing I could have done about it. I couldn't pull it up because it would have broke it. So I just left it. And then when the ice did melt, I had to pull it up and I staked it. But I was so grateful it didn't break. Yeah, it's bad stuff. It caused a lot of damage to our garden. It snapped our eucalyptus trees in half when you're on the mainland. I've seen Trachycarpa 17 feet tall and 3 washies. Yeah, Newport News is pretty mild in the wintertime too. Samely. So is Virginia Beach getting cold right now? My neighbors, Southern Magnolia just snapped under the snow. Oh, Palm Planet, that's the problem with the snow here too. It breaks. Southern Magnolias take a beating from it. We used to have a 10-foot queen palm. Wow, really? Queen palms are nice. I love them. There's still snow in some places, pretty crazy. Well, ours lasted. There's still snow in places on Salt Spring Island in the cold areas, really cold areas where the lake is frozen, and Blackburn area, lots of snow still. It's just cold there, man. That's like Zone 8A. All the magnolias here look fine. Cool. Yeah, it's crazy when you get deep freeze that far south, isn't it? Isn't it nuts? When you think, man, that stuff should be only in Canada. So I wonder how cold it got in Virginia Beach, because the all-time record low in Virginia Beach is -3 Fahrenheit, believe it or not. The crazy thing, our island here has never been below 0 Fahrenheit. The record low is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. You have your Well, it looks like we got a pretty good live stream going. There's a bunch of you guys in there. I think tomorrow I will do a live stream on Wendy's Gulf Island Rock. Maybe I'll take her out for a coffee. We'll go to the coffee shop because I want to get some more seaweed at the beach. So I'll get the seaweed on the way back, and then I'm going to dig it in again. I throw it on top, let it sit for a couple of days. Hopefully we get some rain and wash a little bit of the salt out. Then I'll dig it in. 23. So it's not that. It's more like Zone 9 there. Everybody else says Virginia Beach is Zone 8A. I think it's more like Zone 9. Record low area is -5 Fahrenheit. So -5 Fahrenheit, that would be -24. -25 degrees Celsius, I think something like that. So the lowest temperature on Salt Springs -15 degrees Celsius, 5. And we love palm trees too. Tropical ice, Sean Hogan, assistus plants. Temps are still freezing. Yeah, I you know what? I actually rather have the freezing temperatures than the wet snow we get. Record low is minus. Yeah, that's what it was in my last location, -19.1, I think. -19 or -19.1 in Langley at Lock Hill. And the weather station was not that far from where I lived. That happened December 28, 1968. I've never seen it that cold there. I've seen it down to -14.8, which was cold. I couldn't believe it. Like it was a double take on my weather station. It was like, am I seeing this properly? So I had a thermometer outside too. And I went outside to look at the thermometer. And sure enough, it was -14.8. Yeah, that's the thing being here on the island, right? It's -3. Yeah, It just doesn't get below zero. But we can get some snow. We can get some cold. There's so many varieties of palms. Yeah, there's about 2,800 of them. At least. You know what you need? I'll tell you what you need. You need to get this book. You need to buy a book called Palms Throughout the World. Palms Throughout the World by David L. Jones. This is a really nice book, and it's got lots of nice photos in it of all different palm trees, and it tells you about the palm trees. It's awesome. I love this book. So Palms Throughout the World. I have a good palm, and I was going to actually sell it if I moved, but I ain't moving anywhere right now, so I'm not gonna sell it. Here's one of my journals. Hey, here's a cool one. Here's a journal from January 1990. This is one of my palm journals from the Southern California chapters, and look at that palm. There's a Licola. Isn't that a cool palm? Looks like a little fan, doesn't it? Licola spinosa is nice too, and grandis. I think that's a grandis. Is that a grandis? No, Licola elegans. That's pretty cool. So that was the International Palm Society journal back in the day. That's what it looked like way back in the day. Isn't that crazy? That's 32 years old now. January 1990, 32 years old. A long time ago, I was in that Palm Society. There's another one here. There's a nice one there. Look at that. Siderostachys ringa. That's the ceiling wax palm. And I think those ones are in Hawaii. Oh, just a minute. Gardens. That's in Honolulu, Hawaii. Lion Arboretum. I've seen those. I know those palms. I got a video of me standing beside those palm trees right there, those same ones. So this is an old journal. This is November 1990, that one. Pretty wild. Long time ago, man. I want that journal. So cool. Yeah, you should see my journals, man. I got every Palm Society journal, man. Tons of them. I should show you. I'll show you some of the ones from our Palm Society. Let's get them out of the closet and show you guys what I'm talking about. This is only some of them, man. I got another box of them downstairs. So there's the rosters. These are all the rosters, like the members where they live, their addresses and everything. But so our journals look like this. So this is Hardy Palm International, and I used to do lots of articles for here. Where's that palm tree? You know where that palm tree is? That's in Seattle. That's a Seattle palm tree right there. And on the back looks like Vancouver. On the back is University. Oh, no. University of Washington. University of Washington right there. Cordyline. I hope that's still there. So that's what the Hardy Palm International Journal looks like from the Pacific Northwest Palm Society. Sable Birmingham. So they were great journals. See you later. Have a good one. Bye. Baja Terrera. Okay, take care. I'm Wayne. Manzanitas are awesome too. They are great. Yeah, you need to get that. You need to get that book if you really like palms there. Florida. You know, Sean Hogan. It says just I'm scrolling through them. I'm just reading to myself. Or I had a book about Florida trees. Oh, I got one on Florida palms. I'll show you. A guy from Florida brought it for me. It is where is it? Landscape palms. This one right here. This guy brought it back from Florida. So his mom and dad live on Salt Spring. And this one here is a guide to landscape palms. Brought this back from Florida. It's a really nice book right there. It's got lots of color photos in it. And it tells you about the different species of palms, right? One of the many books I have in the collection here. You can never have enough palmy books, right? So I want that journal. I'll show you some better journals right here. Where do you get that book at? I got them through the Palm Society. I bought them through the Palm Society years ago. Record in Redmond is -8 degrees. I'm going to show you something. Let's get down to the bottom of this, folks. Okay, here's some good. These are Princeps. This is the International Palm Society Journal, right? Okay, so this is the International. So the International Palm Society was started by Dent Smith in 1955 in actually Kansas, believe it or not. So these are really nice journals. The original ones that I had years ago were a lot smaller, but Really nice color photos in the later journals. That one's 1997. That's the International Palm Society. But you know, they changed the name of it. Check out this one. Isn't that a beauty? Look at that. Look at these pictures on here. These are just quality journals. That's April 1997. And lots of interesting stuff in these journals for you guys. So you could always join the International Palm Society. What's that book called again? Palms of the World. Palms of the World. That's what it's called. I just want to show you something super cool here. Here's another one here. And I got lots of Hardy Enough magazines too. Here's one. Palms. Look at that. Journal of the International Palm Society. Isn't that beautiful? Then they changed it to Palms. It was Princeps. And then they changed it to Palms. And they're just so interesting, the articles in here, right? Some of them are pretty in-depth. Which one is that? That looks like a, is that a Kencha? Almost looks like it, doesn't it? Oh, no. Front cover. Hydrostachys. Oh, cool. Indonesia. God, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. How can you not like trees? Palm trees are amazing. And look at that one. What is that one on the front? This one's 1999, this journal. Isn't that beautiful? What is it? Let me just see. Front cover. High Fanny. Isn't that beauty? Right there. Palms. Gotta like palms. But some people don't like palms. Some people hate palm trees. Not sure, but they struggle when they're small. I have some Princeps journals. Oh, cool. You bought online. Those are old ones. Okay, so in the 1960 journal, you don't have that one. Unfortunately, it's older. In the 1960 journal, Palm Planet, president of the Palm Society, International Palm Society, Dent Smith, traveled to Victoria, British Columbia. And he went into Beacon Hill Park. And he spotted some palm trees in Beacon Hill Park, which is in Victoria on Vancouver Island. And he wrote about them, and he said he spotted them. He found them. He believes them to be the northernmost palms in the Western Hemisphere, and they were growing in Beacon Hill Park. Well, guess what? That was in 1960, and guess what? Those palms are still there. They are so tall. I got videos of them here. So Dent Smith actually saw those palm trees in 1960, and I think Dent Smith is long gone, but he was the president. He started it. Hey, Joe, my Washingtonia robusta is starting to lose fronds. Any idea? There's sunny spot. Moderate water. Outside? Outside. Losing fronds. Oh, the unit is on the back. Still there. Wow, it's still there, piece of me. That's awesome. That's good to know. What would you say the most cold-hardy Phoenix palm is? I'm going to say Phoenix canariensis or Delifera. Theoprasti is okay, but we've lost one in Vancouver. But, I mean, look at the big ones. The big Phoenix CIDP growing in Oregon and Gold Beach, Brookings, Gold Beach area. I'd say CIDP for wet too. But that's called Palms of the World there, Mike. So they're still there, the Cordylines. That's pretty cool. So our Robusta's outside, but I brought it in through the cold blast, and it absolutely looks flawless. I'll go shoot a video of it tomorrow. They're absolutely useless here long-term without winter protection. It'd be like me trying to grow a Trachycarpus palm in Nova Scotia without winter protection, okay? They're useless here. But here, at least, a Washingtonia can make it through several winters, and then it'll get hammered by a cold snap. So I think the one in Seattle maybe made it, though, piece of me? What do you think? Looked like there was some green coming out of it. There are CDBs in Florence. I never did see any in Florence, Oregon. Are they really? I never did see, and I stay in Florence. Like I've stayed in Florence, Oregon, and I looked all over. I saw Cordylines. I see some beautiful Trackies, nice acacia trees, but I don't remember seeing any CIDPs. Man, if you could post pictures of them, that would be awesome. But I have no doubt in my mind that they would grow there. And I wonder how they did in the cold snap, because it probably never got as cold in Florence, Oregon. That's the halfway point on the Oregon coast. Florence, for any of you guys don't know. Oh, you have a video of it? I got to check it out. Cool. I wonder, is it as big as my buddies over in Tofino, or is it bigger, the ones? You're not worried about it. Cool. Dactylic intake zone. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, they like dry conditions. That's the thing. They are hardy. They're a very hardy palm, and they've survived single-digit Fahrenheit. But the thing is, it's dryness. And they don't like our wet winters up here, the Dactylifera. Too wet, way too wet. Wet and cold. That's the problem. That's the problem here on Salt Spring Island and in the Pacific Northwest, is our winters are too cold, right? And, Pacific Northwest has a really good climate. You can grow such a wide variety of plants up here. It's amazing. Yeah, you don't even see Sylvestris too. Sylvestris all over Hawaii. There's a huge one just outside of Salem, Oregon. Really? Is that right? It's kind of like my buddy is just southeast of Vancouver. It's massive. That date palm is so big. He planted it about 21 years ago, and the trunk is taller than me now. And you can't get your arms around it. It's freaking huge. It's growing beside his house, and the fronds are way up over the house. So I'd like to, if I go back there in the summer or the spring, maybe I can get a video of it for you guys. I don't go over to Vancouver too much. It is bigger than my friend's. Wow, cool. Yeah, because Brian's is pretty big. It's like I say, and he does give it some help when it gets cold. I don't know how he even protects that thing anymore. It's too big. Like I say, the fronds are way up over his house, and the trunk, last time I was there 2 years ago, the trunk was as tall as me. Theoprasta, yeah, that's native to Crete and Turkey. I'd like to see that one, Tropical PDX. Do you have a video of it too? I got to see that. Yeah, they do get lots of heat in Salem. I know about Salem. Same with Eugene too. Salem and then Medford. I've stayed in Medford before, in Roseburg. All of those places. I've been to Oregon many times, and anywhere along there gets a lot of heat units. You drive over to the coast and you're wearing a sweatshirt. You drive from like Eugene, I think it was Eugene or Salem, over to Florence. I don't know what's the one was, on I-5. And it was cooking hot there. And then we got over to Florence and we had to wear sweatshirts. Okay. And there used to be Washingtonias down there too off of I-5, I believe, around a parking lot. Do you remember those ones? I think they were in Medford. Were they in Medford, Oregon, the Washingtonias? But the palm is... Wow, that's cool. So a CIDP, that is pretty amazing. Huh. What do you think? Do you think they would survive in Ashland, Oregon? Would you ever consider selling it? If I move, I would. If I move, I would. I'm going to stay here right now because I like them, because I do look through them every so often. I was looking actually through them today, and the Hardy Palm International journals too. I mean, they're great. These are great journals. I've done a lot of articles in these things over the years, and I used to do the cartoons for them too. Back in the day when they were a lot simpler than these. Oh, is that John Spalding's? Let's see, just a minute. Is that John Spalding's? That is, hang on. Sable Woodlanders. No, John Spalding has Cassarianum. I was looking at the sable trunk. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, you're top of the list, Palm Planet. Palm Planet wants the journal. So if I ever sell them, and I already said before, if I do move out of here to Costa Rica or Mexico, I sell them to Palm Planet because I got tons of them, man. I got so many palm journals. It will blow you away. That's just some of them. I got a bigger box in the basement. Their washies in Salem, completely unprotected. Sells in hundreds. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. Wow. Ashland is high elevation. It gets hot there, right? Yeah, those are old ones. These Southern California ones, this is just some of them. I mean, I got more. Got more downstairs. This one here is 1990. See what I got in here. Hang on. Whoops. I want to bend that. Just want to see. These are old. Look at that one. Oh, yeah. This is the Southern California Journal. These are grown. That one's grown in California, I think. Newport Beach, California. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? You got to love California. So that's the old Palm Society Journal. Everything else is pretty much black and white in them, but they're kind of cool. That's what the front of them looks like. That's a nice one there. That's growing in Costa Mesa. I've been to Costa Mesa, California, and I shot some videos down there of my kids skateboarding. And there were some beautiful Majesty palms growing at Costa Mesa at South Coast Plaza. South Coast Plaza Mall has some nice palms, right? So those are some of the few journals I have of the Southern California chapter. They always made them different colors, right? They're kind of cool. Old school, cool journals, right? So it looks like crap in the spring. The only way to get common hardy palms online. Yeah, but well, this was long before online when I used to get my palms and books, right? It was through the Palm Society or the bookstore. Somebody would bring one to the Palm Society meeting. I'd look at, we're gonna get that book. I go to the bookstore on Salt Spring and they'd order it in for me. So it was before the internet time when I had a computer. So that's cool. I'd love to see those date palms in Oregon. That would be really cool. I'm gonna have to check out your channel and see those date palms, because there's no doubt in my mind that they definitely survive longer term in Florence, and maybe that's the northernmost limit. I think there's some growing in Coos Bay as well, and Washingtonias and Coos Bay. And I've been to Coos Bay, Reedsport. I've been to all the towns down the coast. Massive Royal Palm South Plaza. Yeah, cool. That I've never seen. I didn't see the Royal Palms, I don't think. But I definitely want to see those date palms. South Coast Plaza is cool. So I shot some YouTube videos down there. That was in 2008 in August, because my kid was a skateboarder, my oldest kid, and he brought his skateboard and he was doing, because I saw some short clips down there, but one in particular in front of our hotel, it was all date palms. The road was lined, the streets were lined in Anaheim where we stayed with Phoenix dactylifera. So I'm shooting a picture of him. I'm shooting a video of him skateboarding, and you can see all the palms everywhere. In front of our hotel were mature loquat trees. Is beautiful. They're full size. No way. That's cool. Did he plant them small? That is amazing that they've never been hammered in the cold. I got to head out towards home. Shift over. Glad to make it. Me. Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. Come in and chat anytime. From Tennessee, 347 Cowboy. Cool. Okay, 73's to you, man, Dallas. Thanks for popping in. How many kids? I have 3 kids, Donna. My youngest is 21. He'll be on his way to 22 in July. My daughter is going to be 28 in April, beginning of April. My oldest son is going to be 31 soon. Yeah, 91. He's going to be 31 in February. Next month, he's 31. They all live over on the Big Island. My youngest son paints houses. My daughter's a teacher at the school in Duncan on Vancouver Island. And my oldest son does accounting. Yeah. So 3 kids from my first wife. Second wife, no kids with her. My second wife, Wendy, has got 2 kids, and they're grown up too. Her daughter's 35, and her son's going to be 38 in May, right? So Wendy's kids are older, and Wendy's daughter lives on the south end of Salt Spring, which is about 16 and a half miles south of here, something like that. 17 miles south of here, just about 17 miles south of here, and then Wendy's son lives over in Vancouver. That's pretty cool, man. Tropical PDX. Yeah. My son's coming over. My youngest son will be over here at the beginning of February. He said, February 12th, can I come over? Because he's been so busy working. They're just busy with stuff in their own life. There have been some. The one piece of me, Brian, my friend Brian has a nice date palm in his garden in Tofino. And I don't think it got all that cold in Tofino. It wouldn't get as cold as here. So I'm guessing his date palm is probably okay. He's also has some big butillas in his garden as well. Butillas, he's got big cordylines. And there's cordylines all over Tofino. I don't think it would have got cold enough to bother them. The whole town is just full of cordyline trees. But he's the only one over there I know of growing Phoenix canariensis. And it looks beautiful. It's a pretty flawless plant. But Tofino is a 9A. That is definitely 9A. I would like to see palms growing in Port Renfrew. I've spotted 1 palm tree and 1 eucalyptus tree. People in Port Renfrew just are not into gardening. And Port Renfrew has a population of about 144 people. The climate is mild. It's way south of Tofino, and it's just as mild as Tofino. And when you're standing on the beach in Tofino, you can see a point of land way out in the distance, out in the Pacific. And you know what it is? It's called Nia Bay, Washington. Nia Bay. You're right across from Nia Bay in Washington State, which is cool. Yeah. Gold Beach is the start. Yeah, that's where I see big ones, and I've taken pictures of them there. His summers are cooler than mine. Yeah, but every time I'm there, it's warm. Every time I'm in Tofino, it's absolutely beautiful. Last time we were there, people were suntanning on the beach, and that was in October. It was absolutely gorgeous. I just hit it right when I go to Tofino, because they can get a lot of rain there, but it can also be pretty nice too. The beaches in Tofino are like the Oregon coast. It's miles of sandy beaches and surf shops and surfing everywhere in Tofino. Everybody's into surfing in Tofino, right? It's so beautiful there. I like it. If I didn't live here and I could live somewhere else in Canada, it'd be like Port Renfrew, but Wendy wouldn't want to live there. There's not enough to do. Ucluelet or Tofino. Those would be the other choices, right? But it's so expensive there too. It's no different than here. Like if I sold my place here, I'd have to buy something, as equal as much there, so I wouldn't be ahead. So I may as well just stay here. Anyway, Gold Beach is a pretty awesome place. That is northernmost limit. I talked to a guy one day in Gold Beach. I was taking pictures of his palm trees in his yard. He came up and talked to me, and I said, how did they do in the December 1990 freeze? And he says they got totally defoliated. The temperatures got down to 13 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what he told me. Got down to 13 degrees Fahrenheit at Gold Beach and froze the fronds off his palm trees, but they regrew back. Yeah, it is. Way more. Theoprasti is absolutely useless here. Richard Wu of the Palm Society tried one. It would have been in the late 1980s, 89. I went up to his place. I saw it, and it actually died the first winter. I think he even did a write-up on it in one of our journals. It died the first winter. Yeah, no, it's been tried here in Vancouver, I can tell you. And the only person I know that tried it was Richard Wu. And it didn't like it. It wasn't as hardy as we thought it would be, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, you can experiment with them. It's like Nanoropes ricciana. They're really hardy in a dry climate, but they're not going to grow. They're not going to be long-term, I don't think, out in the open here. I think self-seeding trackies count as. Yeah, they are. They do self-seed here like weeds. They're all over underneath the mother palms here where they produce seed. But in our forest, there's lots of them, but I throw that seed around, okay? They just look like they're growing wild, but they're not. They are in the forest, but I put the seed there by throwing it all over the place. Yeah, I would experiment with a piece of me. But, Jeff in Victoria has thousands of trachea seedlings growing under his Wagnerianus. He's got this mature grove of Wagnerianus palms. I think he's got maybe a dozen of them in his front yard, and they're about 20 feet tall. And underneath are seedlings, Waggy seedlings, thousands of them. They are it looks like freaking lawn, but it's seedlings, pure Trachycarpus wagnerianus seedlings. I think about it. There are a ton of seed in London. Yeah, they are. Yeah. I don't know of any Theoprasti in England, but they probably would work there. And down in the south, there's even more CIDP. If you go to southern England, down into like Cornwall, Devon, Penzance, Torquay, those places down there, there's going to be a lot of Phoenix palms. You know where I even saw Phoenix palm growing in Birmingham, England. I Googled images, and there might even be a video, but I Googled images of Birmingham, England, which is cool. There are Phoenix palms growing in Liverpool and Manchester too. I don't know how long-term they are there. Jeff's garden is unreal. I got videos of it here. Last time we were there was June. I think we were there in June. And he gave me a Trachycarpus Nova Cross Waggy. He gave me a hybrid. But Jeff's got these 3 massive Jubea palms, right? And they are big. And you can see the video on Wendy's channel too. Wendy's got a really good video of his garden on Gulf Island Rock. There's some nice washing robots in here. Yes, there are. No way, they're 80 feet tall. Are you kidding? That is awesome. See, the biggest ones I've seen, they're about 20 feet tall. Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, I think the coldest temperature ever in London is like -7 degrees Celsius or something. 80 feet tall near the airport. No, I gotta see photos of those. I would love to see that. That is so awesome. There's some big ones on the Oregon coast, 30, 40 feet tall, but 80 feet tall, that's impressive, man. 49 degrees north latitude, and you got washies that are that big. And there's some monster size date palms, like I say, in England too. Like my daughter lived in England for 5 years. She lived in Taunton near Devon, and then she moved to South Cornwall. And Samantha, her name is, I call her Sammy. Samantha would send me pictures of, hey, Dad, what's this? What's that? I thought you'd like this. December, the daffodils are all blooming, down when she's in South Cornwall. And one of them was of the promenade with date palms on it. It's beautiful down there. Like, England is an awesome country, and they have a really good climate in most of the areas. I think if you get into the Midlands, you get into Northumberland or something like that, it is going to get colder. But you get down by the coast, and it's palmy and balmy. There's a lot of palm trees, tree ferns, and exotic gardens in England. And you know what? They've been doing it for a long time. They're kind of like the masters of growing exotic plants. The Brits, they brought plants from all over the world. Look at Augusta Smith. You look at the Scilly Isles, off about 28 miles off the coast of Cornwall, you have the Scilly Islands. And in the 1800s, you got this guy, Augustus Smith, this horticulturalist dude. He landed on Tresco Island, and he started planting pittosporum hedges around it as windbreaks. And then he started overloading the island with, a chunk of it with exotic plants, palm trees. There's massive date palms there that are from the 1800s, Jubaeas, there's washies, there's Rapilostylus sapida, there's butias, there's trachys, there's huge cordylines, there's tree ferns, there's Norfolk Island pines and metrosideros. Everything grows in the Scilly Isles, 28 miles off the coast of Cornwall, and it's right in the Gulf Stream current, and that's why. A lot more palms and trichorates growing on cool, cold temperature. Yeah, it's great, man. England's got an awesome place for palm search. Oh, man, I got to see that. I have to see that. Those tall palms. That is so cool. 60 to 80 foot tall robustas. Yeah, I had no idea they were that tall there, but I knew there were some 20 footers. Matter of fact, years ago, there were some articles done on England and London, and there's just private gardens where there were some tall Washingtonias growing. Cool. Search up Good Luck Sales Suite in London on Google Maps. Good Luck Sales Suite. I got to write that down. Good Luck Sales Suite. Okay. That's cool. Okay, got her down. I'm going to look that up after this live stream. I'm excited now. I had a really tender one years ago, back in the 1990s, and it fried in a bad winter. I think the winter 98 knocked that one back. A friend of mine gave me one. That'd be nice. I got to get a hardier one. Good Luck Sales Suite in London. Wow, that is so sweet. Big Washingtonias in the UK. You have to love that. And if you told people about that, they'd think you're full of crap, right? But I don't. I know what the climate is of London. But, when somebody tells me there's Trachycarpus palms growing without winter protection in Nova Scotia long term, I know they're full of crap. I know you're not full of crap because I've seen Washingtonias growing there. The reason the majority of the robustas are. That's so cool, man. Oh, man, they could line the streets in them. Autocorrect. Good Luck Sales Suite. Is that correct? Or an autocorrect error? Cool. If you join Palm Talk, there's UK Palms. Okay, cool. I used to be in Palm Talk years ago. Long time ago, I was in Palm Talk. I should actually go into it again. Very cool. That's awesome. That makes me happy. I'm still excited to see the palms in Nova Scotia, too. What do you think, guys? We want to see those palm trees in Nova Scotia. The trachys that never get protection. I've seen the trachys that get protection, and they look like shit. So I really can't wait to see what the trachys look like that don't get protection. Honestly, I'm not saying that to be mean, but seriously, the Trachycarpus palm trees that are growing in Halifax look like shit, okay? If you look at them, I provided a link. There's a link. You tell me if that's a good-looking palm. To me, it looks like crap. And this guy posted a picture, like I say, of a beautiful-looking Trachycarpus in his garden. It looks like it was just planted. And yeah, there was some snow on the ground and snow. I said, that doesn't prove anything to me. Snow doesn't hurt palm trees. Let's see it go through the winter like that. So anyway, no, the palm trees in England look amazing. There's some nice ones growing out at Kew Gardens too. But you go down to Helligan, the Lost Gardens of Helligan, and there's some beautiful palm trees there too. Actually, I used to have a book on Helligan. Unfortunately, I think I gave it away. It was called The Eden Project. I gave it to the book sale. I should get into Palm Talk again. I used to be on that. I'm probably still a member then. Or maybe I have to get another password. It's been years. I used to be on all the Palm forums back in the day before Facebook, before MySpace. And it was fun. So I'll try to get to Palm Talk. Okay. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this. We're just about at 2:10 here. Wow. I should probably get something for dinner. It's already just about 7. I can't believe how fast time flies. I really want to see the tall palms in London. Haida Gwaii. Yep. Tell you what. I've been by there a few times, Haida Gwaii. We had some guys stay at our B&B 2 or 3 years ago at one of our B&Bs, and they were both of them from Haida Gwaii. It was a guy and his son. He was probably in his 60s. The son was probably 30. And they came to do a job. They were working at the bronze foundry behind us here, artists. And I said, you know what? You got to bring some of my seedlings back with you to Haida Gwaii. So I gave him a whole stack of palm seedlings, and I gave him a whole bunch of palm seeds. And I said, plant these in Haida Gwaii and get back to me and give me an update. Well, he never gave me an update. So I have no doubt in my mind that palm trees, Trachycarpus, can survive in Haida Gwaii. My uncle used to live in Sandspit. Yeah, my uncle lived in Sandspit back in the early 1970s. He's a logger, right? So I know it very well. Wendy's son's been to Haida Gwaii 3 or 4 times. What's the name? Might be misspelled before. I'm start checking out Palm Talk. Yeah, I like the old school message boards too. In the 1990s, yeah. I'm retired. Time is irrelevant. I find time goes faster now, though. But I am retired, yeah. Typical online forum now. Some guy phoned me the other day to ask me to work for him, but I turned down the job. The job actually really did suck shit. And I'm not just saying that. It was actually sucking septic tanks, driving a septic tank truck and sucking out septic tanks. So the job did really suck shit. So I passed on it because I have other job offers. And, you know, really in retirement, do I really want to be sucking out septic tanks with a big shit sucking truck? No, I call it the honey wagon. Love the guy. He's a nice guy. Really like him. And he's been on the island a long time. It looks terrible, Donna. What do you think of that? Doesn't it look ugly? Doesn't that personify probably the worst sickly looking trachea you've ever seen in your life? Can you imagine if they had those in their gardens around here or on the planted at Beach Avenue? They were ugly. People would bitch about how ugly that looked. But people in Nova Scotia think it looks okay. You know, but this guy claims to me that there's some nice ones growing around with nice full crowns. And he said, my palms look crappy. Basically, in the letter that he gave me, my palms don't look that healthy. Well, you know what? I had a few words with him, and I'm hoping he messages me back. I'm waiting to see some videos. No, looks nice. Looks terrible, doesn't it, blast off? Ugly looking palm. If my first impression was a trachea was that, I wouldn't want to grow them. I would never want to grow them. You know, I make videos every day. The proof is in the pudding. If something's going to die here, I'm going to show you. If we get snow here, I'm going to show you. Yeah, the guy sent me a picture of his palm tree with a dusting of snow on it. And like I say, that is not proof in the pudding. He did lip me off. And then he messages me on my Banana Joe like page. I got a Banana Joe like page on Facebook. And he's messaged me there a few times now. He messaged me again. And he basically told me I don't know what I'm talking about. He's a horticulturalist. He knows all about palms, and I know nothing about palms. It's like, whatever, you know. So I just says I'm waiting for the proof in the pudding because that doesn't do anything for me. A newly planted palm tree. And your guy says, well, I got more on the other side of my house, bigger ones, this and that. I says, well, send them to me. Put them on people who love palm trees. Put them in my groups on Facebook. I got palm groups there. You know, he doesn't have any content on his YouTube channel. Put some videos on there. So where is now on this chat? So he's not on this chat. He's not even here. I was hoping he'd come in. He's not even here. Funny story. I sold my last house in Ontario during the winter. Needed to do. Later, I had to build a giant fire on the lawn. No way. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I say. Bring it on, Donna. You know, if he wants to argue with me, I'm going to keep on going with him because he has to prove to me, and he's not proven to me yet. You know what I mean? I could go like, okay, I've been shooting videos of the Majesty palms. The Majesty palms in Ganges. And, you know, I could have shot, I did shoot videos, but I could have said, hey, well, we grow Majesty palms here, and they go right through the wintertime. And, well, they don't, because I said, you know, there's going to be a time these guys are going to die, and they did. On December 21st, they bit the big one. They are pushing up the daisies. They're done. It got too cold. So I want him to shoot some videos of his palm trees on the coldest winter days, and I want to see pictures of the palms and videos in spring. I want to see what they look like in May after the winter's gone past with no protection on them. I bet you they're not going to look very good. Matter of fact, I bet you they'll be dead. That's how bad they're going to look, man. They're going to be fried. Because in one of my groups, like I say, southeast of Vancouver, slightly, in Port Coquitlam, there's a guy up there that grows a lot of trackies in his garden. And just after the freeze we had in December, he posted pictures of his trackies, and they did not look that good, man. The fronds look fried. His jubea looked fried, which is quite sad. It's quite upsetting, and I feel for him. I don't think the trackies are dead. Jubea possibly could lose a center spear. I have a friend in North Vancouver that lost a big one in December 2008 freeze. It was pretty upsetting. It was a very expensive jubea, and it lost its center spear in the 2008 freeze. So if my buddy lives in Zone 8B in Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam or Port Moody, wherever it is, near Vancouver, and his Trachycarpus was fried in December, well, there's no 8Bs in Nova Scotia. There's no Zone 8Bs in Nova Scotia. And this guy's trying to tell me that his palms breeze through the winter in Zone 6B, 7A, wherever he lives. See, that's bullshit. You know, he's lying through his teeth to me, and I don't like liars. So I hope he's messaged me again on Facebook. I actually sent the message. I copy and paste and send it to my buddy Sandor in Ontario so he could actually read. I'm not BSing you. So this guy, you know, is basically calling me an idiot, and I don't know what I'm talking about because there are palm trees all over Nova Scotia. Well, I got friends that live there, and I messaged one of my friends that moved there from here about 3 or 4 years ago, and she was shocked. She knows palm trees grow here because I planted some in her garden, and she sees them all over Ganges, right, and all over Salt Spring. And when I told her there's palm trees growing in Nova Scotia, she was actually shocked. She said, "What? I've been here all this long, and I've never seen any." So I gave her the where she could see the ones in Halifax, and I wanted her to do an update for me. Exactly. Eastern Washington be full of tracks. Exactly, piece of me. You know it. And a lot of other places too. It's like you go out to Chilliwack in the Fraser Valley and try to find me a Trachycarpus palm tree that doesn't get winter protection. Try to find me one that does not get. That's Zone 8A. It's at least Zone 8A there. I don't think it's 8B. Chilliwack can get pretty darn cold. Same with out in Abbotsford. It gets cold. And I got a friend that kind of gave up on palm growing in Abbotsford, and he was Zone 8A, 8B. And the winters are so freaking cold out there and windy, and they lasted a long time. This is a higher growing zone than Nova Scotia, and he's given up on it because he kept losing them. So I'm dying to see this guy's palm collection in Nova Scotia. And you said it like it is. Piece of me, Eastern Washington would be full of trackies if they were hardy in Nova Scotia. You know it, dude. You know it. Well said. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to roll. Make me some soup or something. It's getting on. We're 2 hours and 17 seconds into this live stream. So you guys have been awesome putting up with me babbling about palms in Nova Scotia. You guys are great. And you all guys are all a fountain of information. We can all learn from one another. And I like what Piece of Me said. And matter of fact, I think I'm going to say that to the guy when I message him back. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. And you know what? I might be able to find them on YouTube too, Cal. I might be able to. I have some ribs. Oh, dude, ribs. I'm jealous. Man, oh, I love ribs. They're so good. Okay. Take care, you guys. I want some ribs. See you, Donna. See you, Tropical PDX. See you, Piece of Me. See you, Cal. Who else is in there? Who am I missing? Camel's in there. He might be gone. Daniel Christensen. See you later. Alligator. Let's just see. There's some spammers in there. We don't want to wish them a goodbye. Blast off. See you in there. I think most everybody's gone. Palm Planet. Take care. And Camel, we said goodbye to you. I like to say bye to everybody, just like I try to answer all my. Larry Johnson, if you're still in there, see you later. And anybody else that I missed, see you later. It's been fun. And tomorrow I'll do a live stream on Wendy's channel, Gulf Island Rock. All right. So Gulf Island Rock, maybe around the same time I did this one, we'll get in there and we'll do a live stream, and I'll grab it and I'll go out into the garden. So I'm going to start it when it's light out, and then so I can actually see what the garden looks like. I kind of like it because she's got the iPad. Makes it a little bit better. So, all right, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you next time on a live stream. Have fun. Not in the sun. Well, maybe we'll have sun tomorrow, but have fun. Have a good day tomorrow. Cheers.